Hello everyone, welcome to ALR, and it's Ciao Bella here in the Italian Grand Prix. Our third taste of action around this Temple of Speed, of course, where the Tifosi are expected, and they have got a hero in the form of Theo, who is leading the World Championship by 1.0 from Enright. Then Enright is going to be public enemy number one tonight, isn't he? Can he overthrow the Tifosi and the Ferrari Charger Theo to take the lead in the World Championship? That is what's up for grabs here tonight in ALR Bronze. And welcome everyone. Then and this there's a lot more twists and turns. Then so tonight is not the end of it. Tonight is just another chapter in what promises to be an absolutely scintillating season in Bronze. One of the most competitive Bronze seasons in history. And I'm not just making this up. Then let me show you with the drivers and the constructors standings around this 3.5 mile circuit. We had a lot of rain last night in qualifying. The race then was a bit gloomy, wasn't it? But it was a cracking race in the end. Very much on the edge of your seat kind of stuff. And it was Immortal who got his second Grand Prix win of his silver career. And it's a good stuff indeed there for Immortal. Whilst Fanjo then is narrowed the championship, the championship gap, which I think is something like 78 points now, something like that. So it's still quite a long way to go, isn't it, here in the World Championship? So, yes, but that is silver. This is bronze tonight. And in bronze is Theo, who's got the magical 100 points in, with Enright is 1 point behind him now. As of course, Enright got that famous Grand Prix win last time out in Holland. That was his fifth Grand Prix win of his career for Enright then. 30 points up back is Ayrton. Ayrton's had a bit of, he's having a great season, isn't he, Ayrton is, but he's had 5 DNFs, hasn't he? He's still third in the championship, Ayrton is, but he needs to start to pull up his socks there and get to the end of the races more for Ayrton. Otherwise, his final promotion spot bid might end up fall flat on his face there before the end of the season. But on a superlative season as well. Another driver then who got relegated from silver to bronze, but he's having a superlative season as well. He's 17 points away from the promotion spot at the moment now. Ross Geelan has been marching up the order. He's now fifth in the World Championship, 49 points away from the championship leader. He is 18 points behind Bullet. No, he isn't. No, he isn't at all. He's only 1 point behind Billet. I think I got my old master mixed up there, haven't I? Vintage in sixth position there in the Red Bull car. Doing a great job, Vintages, this season. Great stuff indeed there. Absolutely superlative. Echo in seventh in the Williams with Lewis G in eighth and Irvine in ninth, and Swan Shanks completes the top 10. Joy Top 41 points along with Joseph as well. In the relegation battle zone, it is currently Roscoe, Artie Wee and Taylor McKenzie, of course, said. And of course, they are now 12 points away from safety with Battlesy Mini, who has been promoted to the full-time McLaren seat after his superlative Grand Prix debut last time out there and getting second, wasn't he, for the Red Bull team. Now he's in the McLaren, and they're really going to be charging up the field, I think, now, because he has some pace in there around Holland. Z Mini did fantastic stuff. Z Mini then in second position. Camera Racer also in the relegation problems as well, along with Baz, which is quite shocking to see, isn't it? Really, drivers of no caliber down the back of the field, down the bottom of the championship, isn't there? Because they've had a bit of an up and down season, haven't they? Those drivers have. They probably don't deserve to be down there, but unfortunately, if you don't get the points on the board, then that is where you're going to be ending up. Sadly, right then is we are just taking a quick look at the constructor standings then, and we'll be on with the show. Then in the constructor standings, and it's Aston Martin who leads the constructor championship 6 points in front of the Red Bull team in second, with McLaren in third. Then Williams are currently fourth at the moment. Fifth position is the Ferrari team. Sixth position is the Mercedes with Haas in seventh. Eighth position the AlphaTauri, Alpine in ninth, and the Alfa Romeo completes the top 10 then. And of course the Italian teams are expectant here tonight, and of course as we are at home of Italy, and we have three hometown teams, don't we, in the form of the AlphaTauri, in form of the Alfa Romeo, and in the form of the Ferrari as well. The Scooter, of course the Scala Ferrari, and of course, the Tifosi will be expectant, as we've already mentioned then. as we already mentioned this season, and Theo, of course, has reached 100 points this season, and he's got Grand Prix win, 2 pole positions to his name. He's had 3 podiums that Theo has, which is the most apart from Emright this season. That is how close the championship is in bronze. It's ridiculously close, isn't it? And goodness me. And just like last night, we have got rain again here tonight. Then, so yeah, as it was then, goodness gracious me. We've also got a couple of debutants in here tonight. With Hardy Wee, unfortunately, not able to take part, then, which is unfortunate for Hardy Wee. Then, so we've got a super sub in the form Felipe, who this is he's only just joined the driver Discord earlier on today, and goodness me, he's been thrown to the deep end, literally and figuratively, because there's a lot of puddles out here in Monza tonight. And my golly gosh, I think I'll be splish splashing then to see if I can get out a qualifying one then. The other 19 drivers then, they are all full-time drivers, and Battlesy Mini making his debut for the McLaren tonight then. So good 17th there for Battlesy Mini, and he's already in 17th for the World Championship. Can he climb higher up the standings then? And also saying, evening Squid Gamers then, good luck at bronze. We've got Goku saying, evening everyone. Emerson saying, good luck Emerson. And Forza Ferrari. Pillar saying, good luck tonight Emerson. We got N right there saying, no. The one time I could beat Gold Paul and it rains. Ken Chaz has also said, hello. Good evening everyone. Right, right's going on to the intermediate tires then. Let's see how that plays out. And I think we've got our debutant who's just come out on the circuit as well now. Felipe, so great 17th then. Felipe is keen as a bean then to get out on circuit. Unfortunately though, he has a default helmet there, which I'm absolutely appalled by. I know that Theo has got a own specially designed crash helmet for tonight, hasn't he? Of course, most Ferrari drivers have all done something special, haven't they? Here in Monza. Of course, if you are a Ferrari driver, of course you'll be doing something special for the crash helmet and these couple of races. Then, of course, we got 2 more races of Monza, and we're here for ALR this week. Tonight in bronze, and then tomorrow night in COBALT as well. Then, so good 17th. Then Hamilton needs to bounce back after his first DNF of the season, which how's that going to affect him in the stands? Then, well, it hasn't affected him too much. Hammer time, of course, with both the Haas team drivers imploding potentially after what happened to after they came to blows in turn 1 there. They was very close to each other Iron Night in a J-Dog, weren't they? So that might be something to keep an eye on tomorrow night as well. But of course, that's tomorrow night, that's Wednesday night. Tonight is Tuesday night. It is bronze action then. Had to come through Ascari as well. Yellow flags in the second, and Lesmo then. Of course, the Italian Grand Prix has been ever present on the calendars almost every single season, hasn't it? Apart from 1951 or something like that. Then I don't even know if that's right or not, to be honest. That just feels right to me. I'd say a lot of stuff which probably is not right at all, is it? But what I do know is right then that over the course of the history of Italy and Monza in Formula 1, we have had some legendary flashpoints, haven't we, in Italy? And let's go through them, shall we? Of course, the 1995 Italian Grand Prix comes straight to mind for me. Well, of course, said when it was the 2 Ferraris, 1-2. I told a Ferrari that's throwing off in the background there. And who is it? It is, I think it is Theo. Is it? It's the championship leader, Theo, going off quite early on. Then that's not good, is it? So that's not good at all. Then, unfortunately, as we got an Aston Martin with no front wing at all, then, and that is Lewis G. Then, and he is sliding off, and he's going straight into the barrier. And goodness me, he's got no grip out there. Lewis G. has it there. So that is into the newly renamed Michele Alboreto curve, and of course, formerly known as the Parabolica. So, of course, that was renamed after the legendary Ferrari driver in the 80s as well. Felipe has invalidated his time on his first time run of his ALR championship career, and so unfortunately that's not gone too well. Enright then is on the intermediate tyres then, so Enright's the first driver to go on the intermediate tyres. That's a very brave manoeuvre to do indeed. Ayrton coming out the Dalia Roger chicane there, looking a bit squirrely there, Ayrton. It's like goodness me, trying to keep that car on the straight and there. Here comes a Ross G into the second part of the as well. We've also got Taylor McKenzie and Echo then just going over the old banking as well, just before rising up the hill then. The 95 Italian Grand Prix, of course, both Ferraris leading the race, weren't they? After Hill and Schumacher came to blows, unfortunately, down at the Dalia Roger chicane. I can't remember it was called the Dalia Roger chicane back then. And then, of course, the 2 Ferraris like that. And then, unfortunately, Jean Lacey's onboard camera fell off there and hit Gerhard Berger's front suspension down. That took him out of the race. And then Jean Lacey had some kind of had a wheel failure or something like that, didn't he, in the Ferrari? And that also put paid to to his charge, the Italian Grand Prix as well. Jordan Lacey, I can't believe I'm saying this, is only a one-time Grand Prix winner in Formula 1 then. Absolutely travesty to say the least, isn't it, for Jordan Lacey to only be a one-time Grand Prix winner. It's just something that it just really baffles me to this day as well. The man had so much talent, didn't he? Of course, Jordan Lacey, hero amongst the Ferrari fans, isn't he? So he does get a big old cheer, Jordan Lacey did when he was driving for Ferrari, when he was driving the Benetton, when he was driving the Sauber, or the Prost team then. So Jordan Lacey, very much a hero amongst these Italian Tifosi fans. Good stuff indeed. Felipe has got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with ALR Sammy, who's making his second appearance here tonight. And there's a Williams because it come back on the circuit then of Sammy then, who is also making a reserve as well. But Felipe is, goodness me, he's really making a bit of a splash then on his debut here tonight. But goodness me, Felipe has unfortunately come to blows with Sammy, and that is not good at all, is it there? So we didn't even see what happened there, did we? Unfortunately. Troy saying evening voice of Ferrari as well. Welcome to the Alibi Ascari, where we do here is crash then. Don't worry about that then, as Enright is gone 5th fast, and the intermediate tyres currently are 10 seconds slower than Mackenzie on the wet tyres there. So the intermediate tyres not the way to go at the moment, but Enright has gone quicker. And of course, the more you go out there, the more water you're going to shift back up into the sky then, which means that you will in theory go quicker there, won't you? Because less water on the circuit then, which means that you will you'll be quicker, won't you? Because there's less water to disperse from the Here comes Baz then, as we mentioned then earlier on in the pre-show then, we were saying that Baz down in the wrong end part of the table, wasn't he there for Baz? And that's quite surprising then. In the couple of races then for Baz, that's one race that comes straight to mind straight away is the Monaco Grand Prix, where he could have won the race there, couldn't he? There he was quick, but unfortunately him and Enright did come to blows there. Joseph has gone up 9 fastest in the Aston Martin car. Theo is 7 fast among camera racer. It's just gone up to 5th then and squeezed in between the two Mercedes. And Battlesy Mini is about 0.3 of a second away from his teammate Ayrton. Ayrton, of course, for in the World Championship. Ayrton won this race in silver last season, didn't he? Ayrton did, of course. So Ayrton's got happy memories around here. Of course, it did start sprinkling with rain there, and Ayrton there took the gamble there. Absolutely superb gamble as well, and won his first ever ALR race. Of course, he's a 2-time Grand Prix winner in the whole of his career in ALR. Ayrton is now one in Bahrain earlier on this season, and of course this race last time out in last season in the silver as well. And Roscoe at the final turn, and Roscoe in the relegation zone there. He could potentially see himself racing on Wednesdays if he's not careful. Roscoe, I'm sure that Roscoe had a Grand Prix win around here. Did he win last year in bronze? And potentially, whatever the case may be, we'll hopefully hear what happened to Simon Felipe, but unfortunately that's not a good way to start your career in ALR Felipe then. But of course we're not sure what happened there. Lewis D on the now on the wet tire side, he's got a wing in place now, so that's better news there. Echo has gone fastest, and Theo has just gone second fastest and in the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed then. Of course it is absolutely appalling weather conditions out there at the moment. It's absolutely raining cats and dogs then. You have to be very careful, and the AstroTurf holds the water on the outside track as well, so you must miss. Lewis D goes fast there, about 10th per second in front of Echo at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then. As we've just got camera race moving up in the third fast then, the times are now starting to really start to tumble, aren't they? As now Joseph has gone 5th fast, and the drivers has now started to gain a bit of momentum and a bit of confidence as well. In these wet weather conditions there, you will fuel up the car. Oh gosh, Darren, what's happened there? It's a McLaren off, and Theo is facing the wrong way. Schwanshanks is out as he has just got off further around the circuit, and Theo and one of the McLarens there is in major peril here. And it's Ayrton there. It's also in the background as well, but it's Balsy Mini and Theo have, I'm not sure if they come to blows him, but Balsy Mini has got no wing at all, and as he's letting Theo through, the championship leader Theo, who was, it was looking not too bad for Theo, but unfortunately, he looks, I'm not sure he's come to blows there. We've seen the Swanshanks is out of qualifying, unfortunately, so that's not good news at all for Swanshanks, which is which is such a shame then. But Theo then they're just carrying on there. Luckily he's in this event now at the moment. Enright then just accelerating out. Then of course Enright won the race last night. Then after we had to reshuffle the order, then of course there is we also had Enright being reinstated the Grand Prix lead. Then after a 5-second penalty was adjudged then from his Echo is flying out there at the moment. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there for Echo. Enright regained his first position, didn't he, last time out then after he was adjudged out a 5-second penalty, which was then rescinded there by head admin Liam. Yeah, so good stuff indeed there. And else? We had Swan Shanks as well, got reinstated back up in the third as well. Swan Shanks then could have, was very close there, was potentially could have won that race as well for Swan Shanks. Unfortunately, he is in the hedge early on in this session at the moment there for Swan Shanks, which is such a shame indeed. Then we just got Vintage left the session there. I think hopefully it's not because of the rain there, is it there? Because Vintage may not want to get his hair ruined there. Of course, it's oh goodness me, Enright is well off the circuit there at the Ascari chicane now, so that was not very good at all for Enright then. But he is now within 3 seconds. Well, no, he isn't. He's now within 8/10 of a second then from a wet wear time then for McKenzie then. So the intermediate tires, are they starting to become in the zone then? I've got to say, judging from that there, Enright is really struggling with the understeer on that Hascar. He comes into the pits now, Enright does that, but he's done a lot of laps there on the intermediate tires then for Enright. That may help him later on in this Grand Prix session then. We're not sure what the weather is going to be like for the remainder of the session tonight, and that is the beauty, isn't it? I absolutely love it there. Of course, remember, this is round 12 of the World Championship. We've got 8 rounds to go after this one. Sammy getting a bit too greedy on the outside of the score. Then Sammy getting his second Grand Prix start in a matter of days there. Good stuff indeed there for Sammy. Great to see him back in ALR as well. Sammy made his debut in ALR in Season 2 at the Monaco Grand Prix. Didn't he, Sammy did? Goodness gracious me, when I think there was only one lead for ALR. Goodness gracious me, how time flies when you are having fun. Absolutely lovely stuff indeed there. Anyway, let's go through the comments then, shall we? As Sam's unfortunately going to have another bite of the cherry. So while Sam winds him up and let's go for it. Vintage saying, first race on PlayStation 5 and I've got no setup. Oh dear there. So Vintage there, looks like he's going to be fighting an uphill battle there, unfortunately. Serious pressure, muting all then. Great biggest talent, Vintage, do not go out, and that might have been the reason why Joseph's now gone fastest there. A whisker, 100th second in front of Eckert, but it can't be any closer than that. Kind of fantastic stuff indeed there. Really good stuff, Fed. Sir Tommy, good evening, young guys. Sir Tommy, then, of course, Sir Tommy has got a 78-point lead in the Silver Championship. That is memory, by the way, and I don't think that's right at all. I know that there's 8 somewhere in the championship stands, but not sure where. We have got Wilson saying he rang 8-2 wings yesterday. I recommend that then. No, so as Cryptic saying he's got 9 minutes to do it then. Good luck to the AlphaTauri team, to Theo and Cryptic there from Sir Tommy. Good stuff indeed there. Can we get an on-board lap with the Bronze King? Enright there, German is saying, and we will in a minute then, my good man. I think Enright at the moment there is currently now swapped to the wet tires then, so we'll see what Enright can do in just a jiffy. And then we have, I think I've already been on board with Enright, haven't I? Goodness me. So there's me like half an hour behind everyone else, and my god, gosh then. So as we're just now coming down the back straight then. Let's see what we can do then. Gunnar saying, as all your leagues have got crazy pace these days, Cryptic. It is mental. It really is indeed, isn't it? Absolutely impressive times there through up and down the field then. So whilst I've been gossiping away then, I think that we need to have a word with Sammy at the end of this race, don't we? Because he's still got a default helmet there, which is absolutely appalling form there from Sammy. Shadows there, lovely helmet design for Shadows there. He goes across the line in the AlphaTauri, the home team for tonight in the AlphaTauri. Remember, they won the 2020 Italian Grand Prix with Pierre Gasly, and what a fairy tale story that was. That absolutely incredible race that was. Really was indeed that. Billet's got on the intermediate tires, and Irvine is on the wet tires, and let's see what Billet can do as he comes into the Dalla Roger Choquet. Looking very slow and steady there for him. Of course, Billet has scored in every single Grand Prix he's participated in bronze apart from one, and that is a pretty impressive resume, isn't it, for Billet. Very impressive indeed, and I think that Billet had a flash of brilliance in silver last season, and one of the best races I've seen from Billet in his whole career is the silver Monaco Grand Prix. Absolutely stellar stuff indeed there. Of course, when Billet, and I think he was in the Haas team, was along with Gordo, and that Haas team, that day in history in Monaco, season 3 of silver, was magnificent, wasn't it? Absolutely magnifico, you could say. Brings somebody that Grimmer saying, I love the strike, constantly feeding the edge then for Grimmer. Of course, unfortunately, no Phelan racing at ALR bronze anymore. It's because of work commitments there. He's had to step back there. But the puns have not gone away, have they? So good somebody. Keep the feeling puns coming in now. I absolutely love it. Billy out of the Alberto. I keep saying Alberto, and I don't know why. Of the Michele Alboreto. curve. Absolutely shocking performance. And no one actually told me, so I was saying it wrong either. So all of you are very evil, evil people, and you might word. Here comes Irvine into the Parabolica, which is not the Parabolica anymore, so I've done it again. But let's see what Irvine can do now. Of course, he was second at the World Championship in Cobalt last season. This season in bronze, and it hasn't been the stellar season I was expecting. And Enright in the wall! Oh goodness me! Enright, the championship, the man who is second at the World Championship, has got off there. And Enright then, of course, the stage was set in for Enright, but he is in the wall very early on there, and he is out of qualifying. And I think that might be at the back of the field if it doesn't go his way. And Enright has just gone jeepers there, so he is going to be very, very disappointed indeed there. Enright is. What a shame there for the man who is second in the World Championship. Irvine has gone 13th fastest when, goodness me, there's still a lot of rain. Look at that puddle right in the middle of the circuit there. Enright, Swan Shanks and Enright going to be at the back of the field then. That is a major, major problem there. And that is disappointing. Then Enright saying a dry race, trust the process. Good stuff indeed. Then, but he has got to do a lot of overtaking. Oh no! Oh goodness me! Irvine's off as well, and they're all going off at this end. And we've also lost Lewis G. Echo has decided to call it a day in the pit lane. Irvine has gone on for the second last, but we've lost the Aston Martin of Lewis G as well. They're all falling off the circuit now as the rain is starting to get heavier here in this one, isn't it? Goodness gracious me! This is getting This is getting very perilous out there, isn't it? Oh my word, there's his teammate Vintage is being wheeled back onto the dolly wheels, back into the garage head. Sammy there, I think that his engineer surely has told Sammy that to be careful. That there is standing water at the exit of the second leg. Well, there's probably standing water at the Parabolica as well, so the drivers have to be tippy-toeing around now, but still keeping it on the limit. That's a huge smash! It's a Felipe off the circuit. Felipe is gone as well at the Curva Grande, and of course it's so easy in the drive, but in the wet is perilous. Sammy's almost losing control as well. I'm losing control in qualifying. Oh my word, there. Everyone is just dropping out like flies now. Incredible scenes here in Italy. Goodness me, we've lost Lewis G in the wall, Enright in the wall, Irvine in the wall, Felipe in the wall, Swanshanks in the wall. All those drivers are out of qualifying. My goodness me. And so let's see then who is going to be facing extinction in qualifying one. Who's going to be joining them on the sidelines then? My word, there, it is so difficult to race in the rain around Italy, isn't it? Remember the 2008 Grand Prix where it's Sebastian Vettel getting his first pole position of his career in Formula One there, and of course went on to win the race well, and of course, and that was Toro Rosso's first Grand Prix win, and then they won it about 12 years later with Felipe Gasly, with Pierre Gasly in the Alpha Tauri, and so good to be, you can hardly break it up there. Fantastic stuff indeed, wasn't it? But of course, weather conditions had quite similar to this on a Saturday, wasn't there? Absolutely appalling weather conditions indeed that, and a lot of top drivers didn't get it right, did they? Lewis Hamilton for one, Kimi Raikkonen was another driver that was really struggling. I think Massa was in the mid-pack as well. Goodness me, a lot of big names had to come through the field that day. Oh my goodness me, that. So just watching Bullet then, who is Baz is safe and sound in the garage. He is indeed. Then Baz is also, where is Baz? I think he was 6 fast. I think somebody then for the Alpine drive. Lovely somebody then. Those raindrops are just streaming down the camera then. Goodness gracious me. I remember when Taylor McKenzie is in there. So that's lucky indeed. Then as Battlesea Midi was also happy with his performance, but Ayrton has gone back out on the 5-lap old wet weather tyres then. Here comes Bullet into the Michele Alboreto turn then. Let's see what he can do then as he accelerates away then. Bullet then coming out of the Parabolica. Can he get a time on the board then? It looks good. It's 12 fast then. Good 17 then. Sammy is back in the drop zone, but he's found 3 seconds then on this lap then. Checkered flag has fallen already. Goodness me. Alibi's out. Vintage is out as well. Goodness gracious me then. We have lost quite a lot of cars in this qualifying one then. And I think I'm just sitting at Liam saying, let's go straight to qualifying 3. Goodness me. He might be right here. As there is a lot of cars and which I'm not going to be taking part in qualifying 2 here tonight. Apologies guys. I've completely missed a lot of your comments and all those tweets and all that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness me, Sammy has just really broke the sound barrier there. Fantastic. He's 4 fastest and Sammy is in the Williams. Good stuff indeed there for Sammy. He is safe and sound through into qualifying 2. Vintage really starting to get on the powder, and maybe I've counted my chickens before they've hatched. And I've got the wrong PBE car. I should be on about Alibi, not Vintage. And here he is, then in the Alpine. And look at that, and there's so much water there just running down the camera into the Dalia Roger chicane. Then for Alibi, it's one and done there for the Alpha Alpine car. And there's too many A's. There's too many blue cars, too many A's this season from one into there for my little brain to handle. My God, of course. Right then, as we're just watching Alibi going through the second Lesmo as well. A bit more tighter than the first one, isn't there? But you get a bit of a crevice, don't you, on the inside of that turn there, and it is beautiful. If you hook that wheel on that dip there, it is sweet as a nut, isn't it? There, Alibi was a bit off that racing line, but I don't think Alibi wants to be on the racing line this up, does he? Because he doesn't want to be on the racing line, because that's where you get more of the old Pirelli rubber, and the old Pirelli rubber in these weather conditions is not what you want to be on, is it there? Because that would just cause you to spin off there, and that is not what you want, is it? As we've just got Alibi coming in to the Parabolica as well, then accelerated out of the fog turn. Then look at those puddles there on the inside of the curb, then accelerated away, and let's see what he can do. Oh, his Alibi's abandoning his turn and come back into the garage, and oh goodness gracious me, then that's really caught me by surprise. I was actually looking down in the comments there, and I was expecting Alibi to be safely through there, but that is not the case at all. There's the Alpine. That's a very brave man on the jack. My word, he's just got a t-shirt on. Oh my goodness, oh fantastic. Right, out of qualifying now, we've only got 13 drivers through to qualifying 2 here, as Joseph is through by, my goodness me, I didn't even recognise the top 4. Less than a tenth of a second separates the top 4. 10 hundredths of a second separates for Echo and Joseph. 20 hundredths of a second separates Ayrton and Joseph, and 74 hundredths of a second separates Ross G and Joseph. Pretty nip and tuck there, my goodness me. Right, as let's just take a look. He's out of qualifying. Swanshank's out. Alibi out. Vintage out. Felipe out. Irvine out. Enright's out. And Lewis G all out of the qualifying session. Unfortunately, then we've got 13 drivers there going through in the qualifying too. Is this rain's going to ease off, Ben? It doesn't look at the moment. This rain looks set fair, doesn't it, for the whole of this qualifying session now? And that might suit some drivers more than others then. But my word, then that was an action-packed start into this qualifying session, wasn't it? Right then, if we go into qualifying 2 then, and let's see who is going to be through into qualifying 3 and going for pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. It's quite a long run down into turn 1, isn't it there? So, oh, I've got a bit of toothache. Oh my gosh. My word, I might have to get the old Sensodyne out tomorrow, I think, then for the old Scrubber Dub tomorrow. But anyway, enough about my personal problems. Let's get back on the racing, shall we? So of course, there's a long old run down into turn 1, isn't it? So you don't. So do you really want to be on pole position? Of course you do. It's where everyone wants to be. They all want to be on pole position. Taylor McKenzie is thinking about those intermediate tyres there, isn't he? So that was a very brave. My goodness me, Billet there. He's on the wrong part of the track there. Of course, if you go the right line then in the real world of Formula 1, then you do get a slap on the wrist there. Now I think it's a drive-through penalty. It was a 5-second penalty these days, isn't it? It used to be a drive-through penalty. It's a 5-second penalty these days for the drive. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem there for Billet. But we'll soon find out then. And there's Alibi has asked, what is the driver of the day record in bronze then? As of course my eyes start to light up there when I see a stat like that. In the current grid at the moment, then, it's actually, oh goodness me, but it's just got over the Della Roger chicane, and I think Alibi knew this answer then, because in the current crop of drivers, it's actually the most driver of the day award so far. It's actually Alibi with 5. In 19 starts, he has had 5 driver of the days, and that's almost just over a quarter of a success rate. So fantastic stuff indeed then. All-time record then for Bronson, I think it's still 5 again, if I'm not very much mistaken. It is 5 along with Alibi and Nunda have got 5 driver of the day awards between them then. So that is that's the joint record at the moment now. It's between Alibi and Nunda. So if Alibi gets one today, he'll be the all-time highest record then for driver of the day. So good stuff indeed then. So that's what he is going to be aiming for Cryptic Alibi. I am sure of it. And it is a Billet now coming down into the final turn. I've got real bad toothache. Goodness me. Oh gosh, I think it might be all those sweeties I've been eating over on the final turn then, and now let's see what Billet can do. Goodness me, that Williams there was all over the outside of the track there. And here comes Billet then, of course. I think the Billet has been a revelation in bronze this season. As he has had he has tripped over a couple of drivers, so as he has, of course, unfortunately, him and Ayrton had a humongous smash in the British Grand Prix. I think Ayrton was not a happy chappy after that one, was he, to say the very least. But of course, Bullett's consistency in bronze, you cannot argue with that, can you? It's absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. That really well done indeed. That and right saying, and just saying, if I win 4 more races in a row, I would get the record for most wins in a row. Then, and I think that is correct. Then, because I think that I'm sure that the most wins in a row is actually set by Eat the Cookie, where he won 2 at the back end of season number 3, and then he won. Then he went on to win 5 in a row, or 4. No, I think he won 4 in a row in the opening couple of races of season number 4 of Gold. And so I'm sure it's 6 in a row that anyone has won 6 in a row. Then I think then it's 5 with Jochen, isn't it? Who won 5 in a row then in the. Back in season 1, wasn't there, where he went from Bahrain to Monaco, I think it was, where he won 5 in a row then, before unfortunately having issues in the Canadian Grand Prix. As he is now coming down at the back straight as well. Then Eat the Cookie, what a guy there from Cryptic Alibi then, as just flicking on then with a bit of then out of the far turn as well. Then I think the Billet is not had a very good lap compared to the Williams behind her now, because that Williams there is really skating up behind her quite quickly indeed then, and you can even see him by the naked eye there. We've got a problem then for one of the Alfa Romeos. It is camera race, so Sammy's gone faster. Sammy is like a rocket around here at the moment. Fantastic there for Sammy. Lovely stuff indeed then, of course. So Sammy's there, won a Grand Prix in ALR. He has got a pole position now, hasn't he? I think he was on pole position last season here, wasn't he? Am I making that up? Because no one told me if I was right or wrong. I told my word there from Kenzie there. I know all kinds of opposite lockdown through the Scary chicane as well. On board with Ross G, then we've got Ferrari. Roscoe is invalidated this time, then Baz is just coming down to the first chicane as well. We'll leave him to it for a minute, because I think we want to be looking at this Ferrari. The hometown heroes then, which is Roscoe, which is just starting his lap actually, so I've got that completely wrong there. We'll go with the other Ross, then let's go with Ross G in the Mercedes, shall we? Out of barn turn as well. Kazad, who's winning the helmet so far, as Ross G goes faster than goodness me. He's winning qualifying so far, and qualifying too. That's a very difficult question, to be honest. I think the last season, I can definitely tell you who's the last season's helmet of the year was, and that was Diashin. I loved his Sebastian Vettel helmet that he wore for most of the season. Last season, for Diashin, fantastic. This season's going to be a bit more, I think it's going to have to be a bit of a ponder for me. Theo is driving with an Italian helmet, Italian-inspired helmet tonight, and let's go on board with the World Championship leader. Theo then, of course, said he's on 100 points now, then his championship rival, Enright, is unfortunately out of qualifying, down in 15th position then for Enright. So Theo has got a golden opportunity here then, and of course that's his Italian-inspired crash helmet indeed, and lovely stuff indeed then for Theo then. Of course a lot of Ferrari drivers do have specialist design helmets for this weekend, don't they? And of course why wouldn't you? Big Emerson's helmet was quite nice actually on Sunday, if I remember rightly. Good stuff indeed there. So as he said that he's got to be up at Alpha and one, so no chaos tonight, lads. Oh goodness me! Of course, I think Bronze has had a lot of chaos, hasn't it, over this season, and I've really enjoyed it personally. But luckily, that's because I'm not an admin. I am not. I don't think anyone would ever trust me to do race reviews and all that kind of stuff. Goodness gracious me! I'd be all the races would just be like no further action and all that kind of stuff. But we've got Mercedes then of Taylor McKenzie, who is. Oh no! The man who was so quick earlier on is all of a sudden off the circuit. And I've just in a comment saying Sammy for maybe a podium tonight, but that may not be the case. He's gone off where Hamilton went off there in 2009, the second Lesbo, and that is a major blow indeed. Then look, Sammy's out of qualifying. He's had a good time, but that is it. There's no spare cars in Formula 1 these days. He is out of the qualifying session here in Italy, and he is not going to be at all happy with himself. And is that going to be a very silly moment there for Sam, isn't there? He's going to be kicking himself, and he had the pace here tonight. He was third fast at the moment there, Sam was there. Theo has gone third fastest, whilst we're just taking a look at Sammy's excursion there at the second Lesbo, and that is not good at all. Emirates saying one time I say something good about him, and he's in the barrier, unfortunately. Sammy has the best helmet there from Cryptic. I do disagree with that. As Echo is gone at fast and on a good side indeed though for Echo. As we just seen one of the, I think that was Joseph, he's just gone up into full fast like Joseph as well. As Ayrton there, lovely helmet design for Ayrton as well. I think Ayrton might be up there with one of the best helmet designs there. I really liked his Ayrton Senna inspired crash helmet from last season. I'm sure it was one of the fun races of the season. Battlesy Mini has gone at 6th fast at the moment there, and he is up into 6th position there in the McLaren. Of course, Battlesy Mini, who is that's a lovely signature helmet there from Battlesy Mini, because he hasn't changed it from last season, from last weekend, which I absolutely love. Of course, the helmet is your signature piece, isn't it? Of course, it defines you. It defines you as a racing driver, doesn't it? So it's very much like a signature number that some footballers might have. For example, like Donnarumma might, of course, has the shirt number 99, for example, doesn't he? Camera Racer there coming in into the Delia Rogers chicane. Camera Racer hasn't set time just yet. 7 minutes ago in this qualifying session, this rain-affected qualifying session as well. No, all goodness me, we've got a wheel there just sat in the middle of the circuit there. That was a bit of a big old smash indeed, wasn't it? For someone just watching Camera Racer then, who's now just going under the dip then. Of course, that is the look at those raindrops there, literally running down the camera here. Camera Racer, and it's going to be 10 times as worse for the drivers there, because the camera can see much more than the drivers can through their visors and helmets and all other kind of stuff that they're wearing tonight. My goodness gracious me. Then Dynamite saying, yes, Ross said, come on lad, as he is currently second fast mode, and Rosti is of course, Rosti, who's now really climbing up the championship quite nice indeed. I think he's 4th in the championship from when I was reading that earlier on. Then here comes Camera Racer out of the final turn, and Mackenzie has now gone back onto the wet tyres, and the intermediate tyre experiment did not work for Enright nor for Mackenzie, so the wet tyres is still the way to go. Remember that we had a latest figure in the intermediate, the wet wear tyres, didn't we? As I'm sure the wet wear tyres can disperse 85 litres of water per second then, 300 kilometers an hour. Then we might get to 300 kilometers an hour, but unfortunately I do not know, because I cannot convert miles an hour and kilometers an hour, because I am not mathematically gifted. I'm not mathematically gifted at all. If anyone's ever seen the past streams, I've been trying to work out if anyone's been champion or not. For example, Emerson in Singapore, which I missed, and also Glock when he won the first ever silver championship back in Barcelona. Of course, that was round number 16, wasn't it, where he won it? Of course, Emerson won in round number 15 last season, the earliest. Oh gosh, and what's that? That's the Aston Martin now. I think that's Joseph, is it? He has lost the whole of the front wing there on the Aston Martin, so he's got 5 minutes there to get himself back in the pits there, to get him sorted out, and get himself sorted out as well. Then, as he is now just trying to get out of the way then of the Alfa Romeo car, and he's done quite nicely now. As the Camera Racer 6 seconds per second up, and that is this is a quick time now for Camera. He's in the ballpark of going fastest on this one. And Camera Racer, a Grand Prix winner in bronze. He probably should be a multiple Grand Prix winner. Remember, in Austria he had so much pace, didn't he? But unfortunately he came unstuck at turn 3 at the top of the hill, as he got a bit too close for comfort, didn't it, for Camera Racer? But he was very much in a class of one that day, and he's now gone fast as well, 10th second in front of Echo. Echo also looking very strong indeed. This is very good times out there at the moment. Remember, this is a full wet weather conditions there, and the drivers are doing a superb job there just to keep themselves out of the wall. Most of the drivers are anyway. You've got Battlesy Mini off there, and oh goodness me, who knows that? That's Camera Racer, and he's got a bit overzealous on the loud pedal there. He has to move quite quickly there, because Race Control throw the book at these drivers quite quickly there. They're quite brutal on this game, ain't they, Race Control are? As I think Ayrton found out, is Ayrton got disqualified for parking in a very peculiar place at Zandvoort last season, which I do like to bring up. Mackenzie has gone, it's just started his lap then. Billet there is flying past me as well. Good stuff indeed that for Billet, but I'm going to stick with Mackenzie because he hasn't set a time just yet. Baz still in the pit lane at the moment as well, so we'll see what Baz can do. And Serge saying, come on, that Camera Racer there. Cryptic Alibi saying that winning in bronze is overrated then. Shadow's quietly going about his business tonight then as well. Of course, Shadow's at the moment in 6th position. He's going so quietly, I didn't even notice him now. He's in the 6th position now. Good Mackenzie there is having a couple of weeks, and Blitz 5/10 of a second down. Let's take a look at Shadows now, should we? We should enjoy what Shadows is doing out there at the moment, because he's taming this AlphaTauri car and doing a superb job as well. Shadows has got 31 points so far this season. and I think the Shadows is having a decent season. And of course, the first 4 races he's had a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately for Shadows. But he really turned the season around with that incredible podium finish in the Austrian Grand Prix, and then he got 4th position in the British Grand Prix. Those 2 races have really defined the season so far for Shadows, hasn't it? But he's done a really good job to turn around what was a pretty difficult and a dire start to the season. But it just shows that where you just keep working away, don't you, and you get yourself back in there. And of course, one race could really change your outset in a World Championship. Of course, a World Championship. So yes, Baz just got off. Baz going into the wall then, but no, he's just got the win down here on board Billet as well. Yellow flags in for Baz's car, who's going to be 1 and done here. I think it's getting a bit brighter out there, but it's still wet wear tires at the moment. Of course, we're on the full wet tires. We can tell that because of the groove tires. And of course, there's no groove tires in Formula 1 these days in terms of dry weather running. We had groove tires between 1998 and 2008, didn't we? Of course, where before the overtaking group there went straight back to the slick tires in 2009. That's where he's been ever since then, isn't it? Well, hopefully we see some slick tires in the Grand Prix itself. Well, I don't think we're going to see any slick tires in this qualifying session because the rain is coming down at steroids at the moment. Absolutely bucking it down here. My God, gosh, said I'm really glad that I am in the dry at the moment now. Search one saying camera racer is celebrating with donut already there. Billet going across the line then, 4 tenths a second improvement there from Billet, but he's 3 tenths a second off the road there. We just seen Ross G going third fast. He's found a 10th and a half there on that final sector for the Mercedes driver there, and edging closer to Echo, but not quite close enough. Remember, this is just about to get out of qualifying one, of course. Baz is starting us off as well, and with just about a minute and a half to go. He may have time for just one more run then, but it's going to be very close indeed. Roscoe drifting around the final turn there. Roscoe is lovely. I love that, the blue and black helmet there from Roscoe. Lovely stuff indeed there from the Ferrari driver. And coming across the line then for Roscoe. He has got one more time running in the piggyback then. Here's Ayrton then, coming through Curva Grande. Lovely stuff indeed then, even though I know it's Grande then. For some reason now oh no, I've forgotten what the singer's name now. What's her name? Andy, no. Oh no. I know her name is Grande, and it was a Grande. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, Ayrton, I thought he was off there then, but a lovely car control for Ayrton. He's got a minute though, if he wants to abandon his time and go back around again. Roscoe on circuit there, but it's 3 tenths of a second down. Baz is in the second left, but Mackenzie is invalidated his time there, so he's got one more shot now, hasn't he there? Let's see what he can do then for Mackenzie. We're just watching Baz now going under the old banking now then before rising back up then. And we got Haas are back to normal with both out in qualifying one, unfortunately. So that is such a shame then. As no one noticed him, he was lurking in the shadows. Good stuff indeed from Serge Bush there. And another pun then as well. I've got to say that's a 7 out of 10 for a pun in my opinion. Fantastic stuff indeed then. That is the higher scare of a pun then. Lovely. Baz there out of the final turn then. Let's see what Baz can do now then. Coming across the line then, and Baz goes into fastest there, and he is 4 thousandths of a second in front of camera racer there. Good time indeed then. Ross G is invalidated his time then, but he has time for just one more run then. Roscoe is 6,700 seconds down, and he is on the outside of the Alberto. Oh, the Alberto, the Michele Alboreto curve there into the pits. There comes Roscoe as he invalidated his time, unfortunately. What about Joseph there? Joseph improves by 2 tenths a second, goes 5th fastest. That just shows how close it is. That Echo is invalidated his time, but Echo should be safely through. One driver who's not safely through is Mackenzie, who's out of qualifying. Unfortunately, he's gone into the barrier at the Ascari chicane, and that is Echo's qualifying session over for tonight. Unfortunately, Sammy, who was looking so strong in the early goings in qualifying, is out of qualifying, swallowing in 11th position there. What about Billet? Billet is 2 tenths a second down the first sector time. What about the second sector time? He's 6 tenths of a second down. I think Billet is also going to be exiting the Italian Grand Prix qualifying session as well, unfortunately. So that is such a shame there for Billet and for Mackenzie as well, as Mackenzie is coming back into the garage then. But before he does that, he's going for a 360 then. Lovely stuff indeed there from Mackenzie, and of course, and that was quite graceful there from Mackenzie in the Mercedes. Billet there, who is just coming out to the final turn as well. But I think that's Billet who is just going to finish off his lap, isn't he there? Billet, unfortunately, I think that he's done 7 laps on those wet tyres, and I think that was a bit too much there. Ayrton there with a headline grabbing fastest time in the end there by almost half a second. there from the McLaren driver. Goodness me. Ayrton really stealing the plaudits tonight. Goodness gracious me. Great stuff indeed there for Ayrton. My word there, and of course, fantastic stuff indeed there. He must have been very much enlightened there by our compliments. We were talking about this helmet earlier, man. So good stuff indeed there for Ayrton. Half a second quicker than at Baz in second position. Good stuff. And that's the end of qualifying 2 then. Well, usually going into qualifying 1 and 2, we kind of have a look to see who's doing what. But I must say, the opening qualifying session has been very much a mixed grid. As I said, fantastic stuff in the Q2 there, because you've only had one car go into the hedge. Unfortunately, it was Sam there, but the other 12 cars doing a great job not to keep it out there on these appalling wet weather conditions there. Absolutely mega 17. We have lost Sam, but and Mackenzie, unfortunately, out of qualifying, but they're going to be 11th, 12th, and 13th, and they'll surely be aiming for some points from here on in then. Goodness me, then good stuff indeed there for good stuff indeed then for those drivers there. Absolutely cracking stuff then, as we're now going into qualifying 3 then for the Italian Grand Prix. You can see, look how low the cloud cover is there. Goodness gracious me then. Ayrton there looking fine and dandy on the left hand side. Great stuff indeed there. Half a second in front of Baz, who was second there. I'm good. Oh no, I'm not going to say it. Baz is looking good. That's what I'm going to say. He's looking very good actually. Cameron Racer looking quite strong as well in third, with Echo in fourth, and Ross G in fifth position. Joseph 6th with Theo 7th. Bowsy Mini in 8th position there. Another strong performance there for the man who's only starting his second bronze race this weekend. Fantastic stuff from Z Mini there. We was mentioning about how great he was in the Dutch Grand Prix. He's going to be a future star. Well, I think he's a present star, Z Mini is. Shadows in 9th position there. As a couple of commenters said there on the stream, he has really gone on the radar, and he's done an absolutely superb time then. Great stuff indeed then. And in 10th position is Roscoe then, as we enter into qualifying 3. Good stuff indeed there. Mackenzie saying Italy was so bad with wet there for Mackenzie, but luckily I think it's dry in the race then. Well, I hope it's dry in the race. I hope I haven't got that completely wrong. But never mind, but we'll keep it going. Right then, so we're now into qualifying 3 then for the Italian Grand Prix. And it's still raining out there. We've had a full wet weather qualifying session, haven't we? I don't think intermediate tyres are the way to go, and if anything, I think it's got heavier actually, hasn't it? So the drivers there are going to be really going against the elements as well as the clock and themselves as well in qualifying 3 then. So 3 elements there. It's going to be tough, isn't it? I think that they're not going to get. I think they're going to get 2 runs in this one, aren't they? Before we go out before we go out in the qualifying as well. As Critical Boy saying then great rage commentary. Curse my teammate. I stopped myself before I mentioned anything else cryptic, so I'm hoping I haven't jinxed Baz, but he is looking strong, isn't he, there, Baz is, and I've got everything crossed for Baz because he's been very unlucky this season. On board the championship leader, this is Field as he comes out of the pit lane. Now look how narrow he's coming out of the pit lane as now the accelerates away. It's a very unusual start-finish right here, isn't it? Look at how much room they've got on the right hand side, on the right hand side of the grid there, where they can put all their bits and pieces there. It's very unusual, isn't it, there, for a track to have so much room there. And I think that they are very much blessed that they on this circuit. Shadows is the first driver out on track then. I must apologise to Shadows because I've really neglected him in this opening in this qualifying exchange so far, so that is absolutely shameful behaviour by myself. And here he comes then into the second Lesmo as well, and down the bike straight then. So yeah, we've got 2 more races then here tonight. Sorry, not tonight then, good to be, I can't do 2 races tonight. Oh my word, that it's just too much there. But of course we've got 2 more races of ALR this week, which is in tonight then in the bronze, and of course tomorrow night in COBALT as well. And the AlphaTauri are looking for another strong result. They of course are leading quite comfortably in the joint construction at the moment. Very impressive stuff indeed there. But it's anyone's guess between from 2nd down to 9th. It's incredible stuff indeed. It's just like last year's joint construction there, where first is almost home and dry already. Of course it was the Renault team last season, and the team that was last season was the Red Bull. And unfortunately it might be more of the same story again then. And then in the mid pack of the joint construction there, it's anyone's ball game. Great stuff indeed there. And now coming down, it wasn't rather one of the joint constructors. I think it was Williams team, wasn't it? Possibly. I think it was Williams team. No, it was the Renault team, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Williams did win the constructors, which I'm very happy to be a part of the Super Williams team. The bronze team, of course, is me and Dylan won the constructors last season in bronze, which I'm surprised I haven't said more than a couple of times. Of course, most of the pointage did come from the bronze world champion Dylan. He was on the podium more often than not. I think he was on the podium like I think the only time he wasn't on the podium was outside once or twice, wasn't there? Shadows are getting a bit squirty out of the old Dahlia Roger chicane, and Shadows there going through the first Lesmo as well. Now it looks like he's trying to find some water there. Oh, Shadows there touching the outside part of the circuit there, and that just unsettled the car for Shadows there, and that is a time ruin there, unfortunately. So Shadows there is going to have to go around again then. So I'm wondering if Shadows has got any excess fuel in the car there, which I think a lot of drivers will have fuel in the car. I'm wondering if some drivers there might have fueled up then for the whole of the session. And we've got a Alfa Romeo car off the circuit there, and who's as camera racer facing the wrong way in the second Lesbo, in one of the Lesbos there. I think it's the second Lesbo, just after the first, I should say. And he is now away then. Can we see what Camaro is doing? He's lost the whole of the wing section there, so he's got to come in the pits then. No, that is a bit unfortunate on board of Ayrton then, but Ayrton then is halfway through the mid section as well. He's coming through the Ascar chicane now. Shadows has gone fast then on a 33, but what about Ross G then over the line as well? Ross G is looking a good time for Ross G. It's a great time for Ross G. It's on a 30.9, lovely 17 there. What about Theo across the line? He is second faster than the World Championship leader, but that is enough for Theo then. Well, Joseph has gone second faster and 10th a second in front of Theo at the moment, and Bass is starting this up, and he's a bit beyond everyone else We've seen what Ayrton could do at the end of qualifying. There he is second fast. Simone Ayrton is a whisker behind Ross G by 700 seconds so far. Ayrton is loving these conditions. Remember, he won this Grand Prix last season in Silverstone, so he knows how to win around here. And remember, it was a damn Pentook with a race there where he threw on the intermediate tyres and stormed through the field, didn't he? So we'll find out. Flying it down then, flying it down into the underneath the crossover then. We are the old bank, and then on here in Italy. Then hang on a minute, I've got to quickly sort myself out. There we go. Right then, here's Echo then coming down the back straight as well. He's got one more curve to go there. That is the famous Parabolica, isn't it? Of course, there used to be Growl on the outside of Parabolica. Unfortunately, there's not anymore. There's Shatters in the background going for a second by the chair, and he lost a lot of time, didn't he? Lost a lot of time to his competitors in that mistake in the second Lesmo, unfortunately. What can Echo do then? Echo's really been in the ball game since the get-go here, and he's done it again, and he's 3/10 a second up the Williams driver. It's great time there for Echo. Lovely stuff indeed. Shatters across the line, and it's a better time for Shatters, and he goes third fast. The Shatters is lovely stuff indeed. Ross G has found some time in the second sector. Has he found enough? Not enough for pole though. He is second at the moment. What about Theo? Theo's on pole position then for the Ferrari, and the Trafosi goes absolutely wild then. And Joseph has gone second fast and 2/10 of a second away from Theo. Magnificent time indeed. What about Bats? He's done a minute exactly from the second intermediate split time. Only 6 fast so far. Ayrton is in the pits, and he's found 3/10 of a second Ayrton has there. And here comes a Balsy minute then. Theo, great time there indeed then. So Theo at the moment is the benchmark. Echo then, is he going to go for another by the chair then? We're just watching. That's not Echo. There's Echo. Echo is in the second Lesmo then. Let's see what Echo could do then. I think, is he still on the, I think he's still on the power at the moment. He's still really fighting, isn't he? And then now flying past and now going up the hill then. What can Echo do? He's 200 a second down in the second split time for the Williams. Look at those brake discs glowing then for Echo then. Very much on the limit then and beyond then. Of course, you don't want to bid at this stage of proceedings, so do you? Because I think the track may get quicker. It may get quicker, but the rain is still coming down quite heavily there. So is the track getting slower actually then? It might be one and done here. We'll find out. We've got Ross who's invalidated his time, unfortunately. Is Echo going? He will know on the Delta if he's improved or not. And Echo is thinking he's improved. He has improved by a 10th of a second, and Echo goes on the front row of the grid in the Williams. Good stuff indeed then. What about Shadows? Shadows head out of the far turn. I think Shadows is coming in the pits then, so he's done with that time there, unfortunately. Shadows says. And we have got Theo, who is coming out of the far turn as well. Theo is going for another run here. So Theo has got a lot of fuel on board in the Ferrari, hasn't he there? So he's not coming in the pits there. He's not on fresh, wet tyres then, Theo. Is this the way to go, or is it going to be fresh tyres? This is going to be interesting. It also depends. You only get 3 sets of wet tyres, don't you, in the whole of the weekend there. So who has been clever at a wet weather allocation then? Well, let's see what Z-Mini can do then. He has been very impressive so far. He goes 8 fast at the moment for Z-Mini. He's a 10th of a second behind his behind Ayrton. currently as fast. Echo is 2/10 second down the first split time there, so I think Echo is just backing off a bit. Then with Theo is 6 rounds second up in the first split time as well. And before going into the Delta Roger chicane as well, then hop, skip, and a jump, and then accelerating away. Now coming into the first last one as well. Let's go on board the championship leader. Let's go on board with Ferrari's hometown hero. He has got Ferrari's hopes pinned on his shoulders there. Remember Emerson there, of course, there. Another Ferrari hometown hero as well. Unfortunately, didn't go too well for Emerson on Sunday, did it? But let's see what Theo could do here tonight then. And now he's doing a gentle run down and then up into the Ascar chicanes, a 10th a second up there. He's really starting to pull away now as he's got a lot of fuel on board as well. He's doing a great job, I think, Theo. He's doing an absolutely superb job, but he's almost off there, Theo is there. And he's lost an abundance amount of time on the Ascar chicane. That's how close he become from a hero to zero in the twinkling of an eye then. Oh my golly gosh, then. And then there's Theo then, who is, I think he might have to back off then, unfortunately he's lost an abundance amount of time, hasn't he? Which is such a shame indeed. Then we've got Camera Racer, who's invalidated his time there. Battlesea Mini is 10th for a second up in this second split time there. So let's see what Battlesea Mini can do then. Emirates asks how many laps on this race, and it's 27 laps, I believe, then. Taylor McKenzie said 26 or 28, and the Search Rush has gone 27 now. I think it's 27, I hope it's 27. But goodness me, because it's usually the full race is 53, isn't it now? So that'll just show me quick math skill. But Z Mini has gone third fastest there. Wow, incredible stuff indeed there for Z Mini. On the second row of the grid there for the McLaren driver. Lovely stuff indeed there. Roscoe is now starting this up, and Camera Racer is now starting this up as well. What about Joseph? Joseph is just on a cooling down lap or backing off lap kind of figure, you know, to get some more urge power into that battery. He comes across the line to start his lap now. Rosti on an out lap. Ayrton also on an out lap as well. Is anyone then on a quick lap then? So runs out of turn one, then Theo is 5 fastest of second up in the first sector. And of course he was doing very good on the last lap, was he? But unfortunately made a mistake there in the second, and just coming out of the second. Wow, he's 2/10 of second up there. And now here he goes. This is where it went a little bit Pete Tong there last time around. Then what about what's he doing this time? Much more control there from Theo. Echo's on pole. He's in the 29s. Echo is there, and look at that. He's wiggling from left to right there. He knows that's a good time. Half a second. That is a mega lap from Echo in the Williams car. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Here's Theo. He's got a car in front of us. I think that's Shadow's out. Shadow's going to give us a bit of a tow here. Theo's got to find an abundance amount of time. He hasn't done it, but he's second fastest still here. Theo is he's in the ballpark of pole position, but it's Echo who's still on pole at the moment for the Williams car. And that'll be his first pole position of in a very long time in ALR. The last time we had pole position was in the Brazilian Grand Prix of Season 2 of ALR Golf. Then I think he's not been on pole position since then for Echo, and of course that was a cracking day indeed there for Echo, really taming the conditions there impressively indeed. Then Roscoe out of the final turn then as well, then out of the Michele Alboreto curve, and for Roscoe he goes 9 fastest then. What about the Alfa Romeo Camera Racer? He goes 6 fastest then for Camera Racer. Joseph is 3/10 of second down there, and he's abandoned it and come back into the pits then. A lot of drivers are struggling to find a time out there, aren't they, at the moment? Ayrton there is gone wide then on the Ascari chicane there, as Ayrton lost a bit of time, and we haven't seen his previous time there, have we, for Ayrton, so you can't judge at the moment. Now into the Michele Alboreto curve, and for Ayrton. Ayrton was quick as it in qualifying too. What can he do in qualifying for on board of last season's Grand Prix winner here in silver? The car over rotating on the old rear there for Ayrton. Ayrton across the line as well. He goes at 9 faster than for Ayrton. He lost a bit of time then towards the end of that there. Ross G then coming across the line, and Ross G is now gonna is one more lap then. I'm surprised that Joseph as Echo is very happy with that performance there. He is in the pit lane. He is celebrating away as he knew he's going to be overjoyed with that result. A mega time there from Echo. Incredible stuff there for the Williams ride. And Shadows is third fastest, and that's a cracking time for Shadows. Theo's abandoned his time. He's in the pits, and Theo's going to be on the front row of the grid. Shadows is my star at qualifying so far. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Shadows. Wow, impressive stuff then. And he is on the second row of the grid. That is a mega lap from Shadows. He is my star at qualifying. Mega stuff indeed. Bowsy Mini in full position. A great qualifying as well with Joseph in fifth position. on board with Roscoe. Then can he find some more time out of this Ferrari? On board with the Ferrari drivers, out of the final turn. He's done a 31.9 then for Roscoe. He's fourth fastest. That's a great time for Roscoe at the end. Then Camera Racer can't do anything else. He is 8th fastest tonight. Wow, incredible time there from Roscoe. Magnificent 17. Here's Bazzi, 6/10 of a second down. Unfortunately, Bazzi's, I think this might be Bazzi's day done and dust. Unfortunately, Alpine. What about Ayrton then? He is now charged where he got Ross G and Ayrton, the final two drivers then on a time then, on a lap then. Let's see what they can do then. Roscoe on the second row of the grid. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then Shadows and Roscoe. The row 2 is my star row qualifying. Magnificent stuff there. As my star qualifying was Shadows, I've had to change it to Roscoe. Here comes Ayrton. Ayrton's on row 2 as well now. Ayrton there with almost literally nothing else. Ross G's out of qualifying. He over-rotated the car, unfortunately, and gone off the Michele Alboreto curve there. Shadows getting my star qualifying, closely followed by Roscoe, and Ayrton there in the very dying emblems of qualifying has gone up into 4th position. What an end to qualifying that is. But it is Echo who is on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. That's his first pole position of his bronze career. That's his second ever pole position of his ALR career. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Echo. Remember, he tamed the wet condition in the Brazilian Grand Prix back in season 2, and now he's back on the front row of the grid then. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Echo. Can he get his first ever Grand Prix win then? Magnificent qualifying that was, and fantastic stuff indeed there. Echo saying I'll take a 29 at laugh out loud. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Unlucky teammate, let's get him in the race there as Ross G then. We use 4/10 of a second up them before finishes in the Alboreto curve then. Enright saying, oh Ross, great time indeed then. Vince saying, Vince there, I think he's just getting ready for the old race itself, and magnificent stuff indeed. That was good qualifying, wasn't it? And look at that then. Echo there by less than a 10th of a second then from Theo in second position there. Theo then is going to, it might be disappointed not getting pole position here at the Italian Grand Prix, the backyard of Ferrari, but he's on the front row of the grid anyway. Shadow star qualifying. He was absolutely superb today, wasn't he? Ayrton in 4th position there. He is back up there, isn't he? Ayrton is there. He needs to capitalise, doesn't he, and get some more points on the board then after having a bit of a difficult spell. Roscoe in 5th position as well. That, of course, he loves it around here. I'm sure he won around here last season. Roscoe did. I need to. Why did I just have a look then? Am I just? I'm just speaking absolute nonsense. I could just have a look then, can't I? And I'm going to have a look right now. I'm right. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, Roscoe did win around here last year. Of course, Sammy got pole position as well, didn't he, last season as well? It was a great old race this was. It wasn't very good for me because I think I drove into the back of Camera Racer, didn't I? So less said about that, the better, I would say. And we've gone from absolute miserable conditions to beautiful sunshine here in... where are we? Monza, here in the Italian Grand Prix. Of course, and the Temple of Speed. We see a lot of speed in those very wet conditions there in qualifying. Hats off to all drivers there, because I think that's the most treacherous condition you could have on a Formula 1 game then. Where it's on low downforce then in Italy, where the car is going to be always shaking its rear from left to right there. You're going to have a lot of oversteer there, and how the drivers kept it on the island is absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. And everyone's saying good luck to Bronze and good stuff indeed there. And of course, there we now how the driver's going to adapt then from a full wet qualifying session to now a full dry qualifying session. And here we go. Serious question there. I was not happy as I went into the back of Cabra there. I must say I was a very unhappy champion as well, because to be honest, I had no. I remember getting very upset about it as well, saying that they broke way too early. And I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to admit it to the admins that I was in the wrong, because I was in the wrong. Absolutely, I was breaking way too early for turn one there, shocking. But of course, I had to like, you know, stand the high ground, even though I knew I was completely wrong there. Yeah, so yeah, my race was quite appalling last year. It really was indeed then. So less said about that race, is better. Of course, who did have an appalling race last season? There was Roscoe there, and now this could be the spark that Roscoe needs in his quest to stay in bronze for this season. Then, and of course, what about Theo? Can he extend in the championship? The championship lead is down to 1 point. Can Echo get his first ever Grand Prix win in ALR? This is his second ever pole position in ALR. Then, of course, he had one in Brazil back in season 2 then, but goodness me, and he's a completely different driver now. Echo is that he is in bronze tonight, and let's see what he can do. But I think we need to go for the grid, don't we, really, because we're already halfway around the lap then. Right then. Soft tires for Echo, short shadows for Roscoe, for Joseph, for Roscoe, no, for Ross G. There's too many Rosses in here. We got Camera Racer on soft tire as well. Mackenzie soft, Lewis G soft, Enright soft, and Vintage soft. Everyone else is on the medium compound tires. Echo pole positioning for the first time in his bronze career. Alongside Echo is Theo on row 1. Then this is going to be a very important race then for Theo and for the Ferrari team as well. Third position is Shatters. His start qualifying, he was superlative, wasn't he? Fantastic stuff. Fourth position was Ayrton. Then Ayrton also is going to be under pressure as well. He needs a good result tonight. So does Roscoe down in the relegation zone in 5th position there, but he loves this circuit. 6th position is Battle Z Mini there. Of course, Z Mini is driving with not a care in the world, is he there? He is really coming to Bronson and absolutely stormed his way up into, he's really stormed his way onto a podium on the first time of asking there. Joseph in 7th position, Ross G in 8th, but he had more time in the piggy bank. Unfortunately, he lost it in the final turn in the Parabolica. Camera in 9th and 10th is Baz. Sammy in 11th position, Blim 12th, Mackenzie in 13th, Lewis G is 14th, and right there the man who's second the world championship in 15th, Irvine in 16th position, 17th is Vintage, 18th is Alibi, Swan Shanks in 19th, Felipe his debut, his first full debut in ALR, 20th on the grid then, as unfortunately I think out of a 5 place grid penalty for him and Sammy coming to blows then. Here we go then for the start of the race then. Mark Smith saying it's not won the first quarter then, and a very wise man indeed then, of course, as it can very much be lost, can it, on board now. Now there we go, then the revs are on and lights out, and it's go for the Italian Grand Prix. It's a great start from Echo then, and then Shatters is on a superb start. That's car in the wall already. Lewis G is out of the race then, and that's an appalling start then. It's a terrible start in the back of the field then, and we have got all kinds of shenanigans going on then, and there's an Alpha Tari off in the foreground as well. They're getting very bunched up then. A yellow flag safety car already, and we got a part Alpine car as well, and my word there, Billet and Alibi have come to blows, and we're not sure what happened there, and yes, it's all gone absolutely appallingly wrong there, and that is such a shame then. Oh goodness gracious me there, as Shatters them second position on a superb start, field down the third, then Ayrton maintains full position. Sammy out of the race then. Sammy is out of the race then, as he's got a 5-second penalty for issues with Swan Shanks there. Oh my goodness me, it's an appalling start. We've got penalties galore all the way around the circuit, and that is an absolute horrific start indeed then. Shocking indeed then, that is such a shame then. And I think Sammy just went into the back of Shatters there. And who is that off? That's Billet off the circuit as well. They're still going off then when the safety car is out then. So an appalling start here in Italy. And there's debris all over the track. And yes, and that is not good at all. Sammy out of the Grand Prix. Lewis G out of the Grand Prix as well. Not very good then. And that is quite a horrific start here in Italy. We have got penalties. I hope we've got a pen and paper. We've got penalties for Billet, for Swan Shanks, for Alibi, Irvine, Vintage, Enright, Camera Racer, Taylor McKenzie, Bowsy Mini, and Ayrton. All 5-second penalties in this race so far. Echo is going to be very happy with that. And we've seen Aston Martin there completely get wiped out. We're not sure how Lewis retired from the race then, but yeah, he didn't even make it past the start line, I don't think, into the pits. I can see Aston Martin there. Joseph is not this is a strategical call there for Joseph onto the hard tyres. We got Red Bull Vintage in the pits. We have got Irvine with no wing at all. He's coming into the pits as well, as Vintage also serving a 5-second penalty. So this is a double whammy for the Red Bull team then, and this is not good at all. They're quite known for their fast pit stops. Unfortunately tonight though, they're going to be known for their slow pit stops. Vintage down in 17th position there. Irvine, who is now waiting for his mechanics to get to position, they're now in position as well, going on to the medium tyres. Look at the wings, and has 2 wings, and they've been clipped there for the Red Bull team there. As not good at all there. As Enright is fine with his teammate there, which I don't think you should be doing under the safety car there. Billet is also coming to the pits right. He's going to the hard tyres. Billet has, and goodness gracious me there, absolutely what was going on here, I have absolutely no idea then. Becca saying impressive by Swan Shanks, Swan Shanks there, not by Swan Shanks? Impressed by Swan. I'm wondering, well, he's down in 60th position. Swan Shanks is there. Yes, and the Alpha Tower there, down in 60th, and having a bit of a difficult time there, unfortunately. Soft tires started knocks to the wall then for Bullet. Then unfortunately we've got safety cars out there. There's been a bit of a brutal start here in this Italian Grand Prix. As there, of course, the wise words from Mark Smith from Mark Smith, and really I think we didn't even have a chance to let those words sink in then before there was issues galore on the opening. Before we even got to turn one there, as it was quite a horrific start indeed. Then Echo leads the Grand Prix with Shatters in second position now. Shatters and doing a good job then, is that they're still overtaking backfield. Enright has come into the pits, and so here comes Enright and Courtesy a second in the World Championship. He had a great race last time out in Zandvoort, didn't he? And let's see then what he's doing. And of course, he's not happy with his teammate though. His teammate was causing all kinds of ruckus, and he's now going to the pits and serve that 5-second penalty as he is in the midfield there. As Alibi also in the pits, while Swan Shanks is staying out there. And now as Enright then coming out of the pits, and so we've got safety car. Then hopefully we'll have some racing in just a jiffy. But my word then, Sammy out the race then, so Sammy's going to be disappointed at that. Then also out of the race is Lewis G as well. Down in 6th position there, Alibi in 17th, Bullet coming in the pits as well, and also thrown on the medium tyres then, of course, when he serves that 5-second penalties. And these are some smart decisions then for the drivers of the backfield, because they're serving their penalties when the safety car's out then. So this is very smart manoeuvring then for all the drivers out there. Goodness gracious me, that Nano is coming out now. Just watched it back. Harry's just watched it back then, and so I think that he's laying the blame at someone there. We'll find out. We'll have a look at that back a bit later on then in the session there. But yeah, that doesn't look. It's when you crash on the straight, then it's not going to look good, is it? Unfortunately, I can't say much, so can I? Because of course I crashed on the straight as well at the beginning of last season, didn't I? But I think I already hurt myself. Right then is Echo is currently leading the Crocodile then. Echo leads then, and let's just take a look at the winners and losers then from the opening exchanges. Felipe has gone from 20th to 10th in the first 3 laps then. Good stuff indeed there. Swan Shanks up 5 positions there. Good stuff there. 4 positions for Vintage there. 5 positions for McKenzie and Rosty at 1 position as well. Theo is dropped down a position there with Shatters going up 1 position as well. Good stuff indeed there. Fantastic then. So let's we're now just so we're on the fourth lap of this Grand Prix. Then we of course will not have the DRS activate until the end, until after the third lap of when the safety car comes in then. Of course the DRS, the drag reduction system, when the rear wing opens, of course and it's like a little hand there that just pushes the car slightly quicker along the straight. Does it? Lewis G then is and of course Lewis G then not happy at all then. Unbelievable then. Not even a restart. Don't know what what driver would do it now. Then because used a bit of a stronger one there, unfortunately. So they're not very good at all. But so just getting ready to get going at all. Then. Of course, we're not going to watch it back. And of course, the stewards will decide then if anyone is culpable of that. Then, but either way, Lewis G. Then what a shame that he didn't even get past the start line. So that is such a shame for Lewis G. Sammy also out of the race as well after he went into the back of a car. I think the car was almost at a standstill at Curva Grande there. So a pretty messy start in here so far. And so this is not been a great start in here in Italy, but never mind. And let's just carry on, shall we? But I do feel sorry for Lewis G and Sammy. It's very frustrating to be out of the race then after you go through the 3 stages of qualifying and then not even to have a proper attack of the race. Then so I do feel for Sammy and Lewis G on this occasion. Then it's just on board of Echo, who currently leads the Grand Prix. Then so he had a cracking start, didn't he? But it was Shatters then who was absolutely flying off the line. Then of course he's on the soft tires, but we sit on the other Formula E's at ALR that some of the soft tires just didn't really seem to far off the grid then, but Shatters got it to absolute perfection there. This is good stuff indeed then for Shatters. Really well done. And he was the start of qualifying, and now he might become the start of the race as well. And here we go then, as we're now going to be back racing in the Italian Grand Prix then. So we're on lap 5 then, and here we go then. It is no, we're not going yet then. Of course, it's Echo's prerogative. When is he going to drop the hammer? He has dropped the hammer. It's gone on the outside then, but I think it's Ayrton there who was trying to get the jump on the Ferrari, but in the end, then the Ferrari's got the jump on him. Then it's Roscoe is now fighting his his way through, but Ayrton and Roscoe are going side by side. We've got also quite a nifty battle. Oh, as Ayrton's going to the back of the championship leader. Ayrton and Theo come to blows, and Ayrton's gone to the back of Theo, and Theo's dropped down the order. Is that damage to the championship leader? And that's an Alpine that gone off the track as well. Oh goodness me, Ayrton's made a mistake there, going down into turn one, I think. And we've got Echo. I'm wondering though, Theo may have braked too early perhaps, and I'm not sure. I'm sticking on the fence. We got Roscoe in fifth, for the third position now. And Enright, we got Ayrton, Enright and Bass, and also fighting as well. Bass trying to go on the outside. Enright is now in that position there. And look at this, and we're just on board, and Baz has dropped down into 12th position there. Everybody's got past Swanshanks, and Swanshanks are down to 15th position there. We got Cameron Racer, who's just dropped down as Battlesy Mini as well. We do Southampton to 9th position as well. Action galore here in the Italian Grand Prix. My goodness me, Enright's now in the points race. He's got past Cameron Racer as well. Cameron dropping down to 11th position there in the Alfa Romeos. We go up into the Ascari corner there. As Theo and Ayrton got damage, I'm sure Ayrton's going to have damage there because he went into the back of Theo quite heavily there. I'm wondering if Theo got damage as well, because he did have half a spin there. Has he got damage there to the side pods of that Ferrari car? We're going to have to find out then later on the race then, but that is a huge blow there. Echo has set the fast up the race then, and now we're coming across the line then. Both cars have stayed out then, so that we might be lucky then. We might be lucky with Ayrton and Theo not getting damage at all, because we don't want to see the championship roles there having to pit there early on this race. And Enright has now got past Z Mini, and Z Mini got the inside, and Enright's on the outside. He's on fresh tyres. Enright he's up to 9th position there. Good manoeuvre there from Enright. Back in the front then, Echo leads then, but he's got a 6-7% gap over Shatters. He's on a superlative Grand Prix. Roscoe in 3rd position. Remember, he won this race last season. Roscoe did that, and this is exactly what he needs then for Roscoe. We're on board for now. This is best result. This is best race so far. Doing a absolutely brilliant 17th. That is just going into the first. Let's know as well. We've got Felipe, who's now giving Ross G some calls for concern, and Felipe doing a good job in the on the medium tyres of the Haas car. Great stuff indeed there from Felipe. Ayrton is struggling though. I think that Ayrton does have damage there. This is such a shame now for Ayrton. Now, he wanted a clean race today, didn't he? Of course, he had a great qualifying, but it's had some issues there in the first chicane, and now Ross G is all over the back of Ayrton. Now Ayrton's on the medium tyres because he wants to go a long way into this Grand Prix. So Ayrton is coming on the back foot of Monday, but let's see what he can do there, because the race is not over then. It's far from done now. Of course, at lap 6 out of 27 then. Let's go into turn number 1. No, turn number 11. Where am I? I don't know what part of the second moment. Charles fast on the race, and we've got one Roscoe as well. Then. So at the moment, in the top 3 then are all lapping, and we're lapping quite close to each other. As now Ross G on the outside of Ayrton. Ayrton dropping down the order, and Ayrton there down in 7th position, unfortunately. And right in front. Oh, the Haas cars have come to blows, and oh my goodness me, and Felipe is out of the race there. Oh no, it's a safety car. Oh my goodness me. And we got an Aston Martin off the car. And Joseph is off the circle as well. Goodness gracious me, what is going on here tonight? Oh no, and that's not good at all. And Felipe, who is I think he was had a good start to this race, but unfortunately the two Haas cars just seem to fight each other on the circuit, and they just merged into each other there. Into the pits there comes Vince. He's got a 5-second penalty. Vince has there. He's going to be kicking himself there. Oh no. Now we've got Echo then, who is currently leading the race. Shatters in 2nd position. Roscoe in 3rd then. Mackenzie in 4th position there. Theo in 5th. 6th position is Ross G. Ayrton in 7th. Enright is 8th. Has he got damage on that Haas car? And we're just taking a look at the Haas car now. Enright's been involved in a lot of action so far, hasn't he? Here in Monza, and let's see what he can do then. Goodness gracious me then. And oh my golly gosh, as Enright then, who is limping. I'm not sure if he's got damage or not. We're on board with him right now. Battlesy Mini then, who is just kind of behind Enright. Let's see who is going to come in the pits and in this. Oh my goodness me! And oh my gosh, and Mackenzie just about coming into the garage there at quite full speed then. Theo and Ayrton have stayed out there. There's always concern that both those drivers have damage there, but it looks like they're all fine and dandy. And there's a Haas wing coming out then of Enright as well, and so it's Echo who is our pulse there. Shatters going on to the medium tyres along with Enright, along with Echo. Then Roscoe is on the hard tyres, and here comes Enright then. Of course, the man who's second at the World Championship on the medium tyres now, lap 8 then. So we must admit, I don't think we've even had a race so far where Well, I don't think we've even had DRS yet, have we, in this race? And goodness me, McKenzie coming into the pits in full pelt there. My word there. Gosh, that was quite scary indeed there. I don't know how he survived that. My word there. This is absolutely incredible. Oh my word. I thought that was going to be a humongous incident there. And I must say, I think I've hurt myself actually there because I clinched quite hard there. Right, Theo leads the race then. Ayrton in second position at the moment there. Baz in third position. Those drivers are the only drivers not to pit in this action-packed start to the Italian Grand Prix. My word then, it's as Troy said, not going to lie, this is entertaining. It really is indeed, isn't it, Aaron? But I'm not sure if it's good entertainment or whatnot, but it is some kind of entertainment. Billet in fourth position. Fifth position is Irvine, with Joseph in sixth position. Echo is seventh, and Echo is the highest of the runners who have come to pits. And remember, Echo got for his first ever pole position in bronze tonight, and he's doing a superlative job. Echo is Shatters is doing a great job. So is Roscoe, Mackenzie, I gotta say, he is going to be counting his lucky stars. I don't know how he's in the race then after he came to the pit at the most incredible speed then. My word then. As Mackenzie saying, I didn't even went in the speed. Went 30 miles an hour on my screen then. So perhaps so we must be big Mackenzie. I wonder if it was a D-sync or something then. But my word, that was quite scary indeed there for Mackenzie. Oh my word. Now we've got M. Rice in 11th position now. 12th position is Mackenzie, Ross G in 13th, for Alibi 14, Swanshanks 15, Camero 16th, Vintage in 7th position. Vintage does have a 5 at second penalty then. I wonder if I was Vintage, I would take that right away. So we had a lot of penalties on the open exchange in this race now. Now we're down to 3 drivers with penalties. We've got Ayrton with a 5-second penalty, Swanshanks and Vintage there. 3-second penalty for Ross G, which unfortunately won't be able to serve under the in the pit lane. So of course that is going to be with him until the end of the race. Oh my word then. So Critical by asking, is it going to be soft or medium to the end then? Harry reckons it's going to be soft. Troy reckons medium then. Great stuff then. Sir Tommy going soft then. Wow. Critical by, if he wanted any help from the comments there, he's really got nothing whatsoever out of that exchange. That's the goodness me then. We got 2 drivers going soft, 2 drivers going medium. Oh, love it. That is the beauty, isn't it, about races. That's what I like about the early stages of a new game, because no one knows what to do they? And I think that's what makes it exciting racing. It really does indeed then. And just as we're now going into the Scottish chicane, so Vintage has decided not to stay up there in Vintage House, and we still need to have a word about Vintage in his helmet. No, really, as he's still got his default one. So is Jake the Slayer as well then. So I'm not sure what the Red Bull drivers are doing over there, but they do seem to like a bit of creativity, doesn't there? Goodness gracious me. Right then, here's Theo then, of course, the Italian-inspired crash helmet there from the World Championship leader, the Ferrari, as he is warming up his tyres, and as now Erz is trying not to get the jump there, is he, on Theo then, and now Theo is going to come around then the Parabolica. When is he going to drop the hammer? And Baz also doing a great job as Steve then. Let's get going then. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a calmer race then, a bit of decorum, ladies and gentlemen. We're back racing on lap 10 then, and look at Ayrton, he's all over the back of Theo, and he's got the drag. He is going for it, and he's going for it down into turn 1. Then they're side by side. Then Ayrton and Theo second and third in the World Championship. No, first and third in the World Championship. Ayrton takes the lead. Then he's squeezing Theo. Ayrton leads the Italian Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me! So Ayrton then, remember he won in silver this time last season, but Theo is having none of it. Theo has got a championship to win, has he now? And he's trying to go on the outside of the cover ground and coming into the Daniel Rogers chicane. Ayrton leads. Past the second position. Joseph's got past her for the third position. Joseph, they're going to come to blows then. No good stuff indeed. They're great driving for both drivers out there. And just him out of boy there. And what's happening there? The Mackenzie dropping down to 12th position. The C Mini is gone. Oh, there's debris off one of the Mercedes there. I'm not sure. That's Ross G. Ross G there is having a oh no! Oh my goodness me! And that is goodness gracious me! And Ross G is out of the race then. And oh no! And I wish I didn't see that. Safety car is out then on the Italian Grand Prix. Irvine is caught up into the 7th position now. At Echo, 6th position at Echo down to 7th. We've got a safety car again. There's Ross G. Is misjudges breaking potentially into the second. Let's move on to Mackenzie. My goodness me, Mercedes are on a bit of a difficult day out there, and that is that is, my goodness me, that's quite, yeah, oh dear, just sums up really, doesn't it? Alright, Ayrton is still in the pit, still in the pit at the moment, feel a second. And Baz in third position there, great stuff indeed there. Bullet in fourth position then, with Joseph in fifth position. Into the pits there comes Alibi. So the driver said they've got 5 second penalty then. I think it's time then for them to serve it now, surely then, with safety car for the third time in 11 laps here. It has been quite the start here in Italy, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me that. So now Alibi is going on to medium tyres then. Swanshanks there, who's chasing the nose cone on the Alpha Tower then. Goodness me, now I'm not sure if they're going to have enough wings left there, are they? Mackenzie in the pits as well. Then. As unfortunately the two Mercedes drivers, they've only been partners, they've only been teammates for the past race or two, haven't they? But it looks like that they have something untoward has been said in the briefing potentially there. I'm not sure what. We did see debris come off of Rosti's car then. And I'm not sure if that may have affected his steering or whatnot. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt potentially, but that didn't look too good from where we were sat, did we? Unfortunately, Dukan could say last driver standing wins. Goodness me. Well, I've got to say, it's not a Formula 1 race at the moment, is it? My word. Right then, we're down to 16 cars left in the race, and here in Italy, and must say the Temple of Speed then has become the Temple of Misery so far in this race for several drivers there. Ayrton still leads the race, but Ayrton does have a 5 second penalty. He does have damage on the front wing as well, potentially, but at the moment it's not stopping him too much then, is it? But we'll find out then. So let's see. Let's see then what the drivers do then. So Ayrton now leading the Grand Prix of Theo in second position, Baz in third, Bullet in fourth position, Joseph is fifth, Irvine is sixth, and seventh is Echo, eighth is Shatters, ninth is Roscoe, 10th is Emroy. Roscoe on hard tyres though, of course, and he's the only driver on hard tyres. Everyone else is on the medium tyres apart from Joseph as well. And I apologise profusely to Joseph as I missed him out there, which is absolutely appalling stuff indeed then. So that is such a shame. Mark Smith, what the odds that is going to finish under a safety car? Of course, the first ever race to finish under a safety car wasn't it the Canadian Grand Prix '99, and I think it was, wasn't it? If actually, is that right? Potentially, if someone could let me know, that'd be fantastic. I'm sure it was the Canadian Grand Prix because didn't Frenson have a very scary brake failure towards the end of the? Echo is off the circuit. The pole sitter is off the circuit. Oh no, and that's in the first chicane, and Echo's right down to the back of the field. What's happened to the Williams driver now? Oh my gosh, so you can't even, every time you can't even turn away from this action here tonight. And it's absolutely bedlam here tonight, absolutely bedlam indeed then. Incredible stuff, Ben. Oh my word then. This is quite horrific stuff indeed, isn't there? We've got Jim Bow, Shalom. I should have raced at this point then. Of course, a fan of the old Friday night dinner and all that kind of stuff. Ben, so yeah, I'm a big old fan of Friday night dinner. But I must admit that, of course, my Friday night dinner usually consists of some fish and chips from. I don't know what my fish and chip shop should call actually, and Emerson's going to be absolutely disgusted with me, isn't he? That really is. Of course, he owns his own fish and chip shop. Right then, and of course his brother Ayrton is leading this race at the moment now. So now hopefully the safety car will be back in, and we'll be back racing in just a few moments' time then, and we'll see how this one goes. Then safety car is in the end of this lap then, so we're on lap 12 out of 27 here. Ayrton now is just warming up those tyres then. As I remind you then, it says Ayrton, Theo and Baz have not come into the pits yet. They're the only drivers not to come in the pits then for a stop at all. Ayrton does have a 5 second penalty though. Now Ayrton is going to be feeling quite the pressure, isn't he, on the back of his neck there, because there's a Ferrari behind him, and it's a Tifosi is going to be against Ayrton as well. Of course, Ayrton is now a public enemy #1 here in Monza, and how he is back racing, and Ayrton's had a good start. Oh, Fields off the circuit, and we said he had a slide then, and Fields got into the wall, and oh my goodness me, the Field, and once again, just like Emerson in the gold race, it's all going peak-tongue for the Ferrari team. Ayrton leads, Baz second there. Shatters is having a look there, but Irvine's on the outside. Irvine on the outside. Shadows is on the inside. That always getting very nip and tuck there, isn't it? Joseph is also involved as well. Roscoe in second position now, and is getting very close as we come through Curva Grande. Irvine now is just getting under the slipstream now of the Alpha Tower. We're on board with Irvine then, and here is Irvine as he's going to have a look down into the Roger chicane. I think it's a bit too far back. Ross and Jamie Enright is there. Roscoe just having a go across the chicane there. He was not giving much space there, and now Enright's sitting on the outside there, and Enright has got the position there. There's Roscoe down into 8th position. So Enright now has moved himself back into 7th position. Enright's on a bit of a difficult old race out there, but all of a sudden it's back into 7th position. Can Enright win this Grand Prix? Where's Theo at the moment? Theo is down in a 16th position there. He is going to be kicking himself. Both Ferraris at the Michele Alboreto curve. I think that the Italian organisers probably should have renamed that corner Michele Alboreto at this moment in time. Goodness me, as it seems to not be helping their Ferrari drivers out there. On board with Z Mini then, who's in at 9th position. And Roscoe just in front of us at the moment, and he's had a look there. No DRS yet, and there's not. I don't think we've even had any DRS yet. Echo on the inside, then Echo's lost a huge bunch of time then under the safety cars. He was off the circuit, and we've got Mackenzie who's also off the circuit as well as he's ran slightly wide then. Enright is now alongside Irvine then, and here comes Enright then. He's past Irvine and moves up into 6th position there. Good something then. Battles in Mini. Oh no, and that's not good, and he is in the war as well. I'm not sure who he hit then. I think he hit the, and then that's another safety car. I'm not sure who he hit there. I think they hit Enright there, and I hope Enright ain't got damage from that. But either way, Troy said that the safety car will run out of fuel at this point. Forget the tyres. Goodness gracious me, Serge Rush said it would be run out of tyres there. Tango saying then he went to MO's School of Tactics at Monza there. Before he said. Becca saying go on Ayrton then at the moment. Ayrton is still leading the race, then but got another safety car. Remember, Ayrton's first ever Grand Prix win was in a 6-car safety car race and in Bahrain, which is the most safety cars ever in ALR history. Of course, that race was kind of down to drivers being a bit green. I think this race, then the drivers are a bit red, aren't they? I think a red with anger. I'm not sure what they've been putting their shreddy wheats tonight. Then goodness me, there's a field then. It's just at the back of the field. Then is hope the safety car should let him pass then Theo, so Theo can catch him to the back of the crocodile. But this is not. This is not very good at all, is it? There is Becca summed up quite nicely with Jeepers Creepers there. Yes, that's a lot of the revolution. Right, into the pits comes Ayrton. Ayrton's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. So is M right there. Oh my goodness me, and goodness gracious me, and there's a lot of mistakes out here for the bronze drivers here tonight then. And now Ayrton coming into the pits, and he's now changing those tires. He's on the soft tires, Ayrton is there. And let's see where he can do and where he's going to come on. He's dropped right down to the back of the field. There's McLaren Mechanics still holding him in there. And Theo, who is at the back of the field then, so Ayrton and Theo. And look, all our the championship protagonists of 3rd, 2nd and 1st in the championship are now 12th, 13th and 15th in this race. Echo is on pole position, is down in 14th position. This race has really turned on its head then, and Billet now leads the Grand Prix in the Alfa Romeo with Shadows in 2nd position, Joseph in 3rd, Roscoe in 4th position. Roscoe, I think, is in the box seats, and Joseph has got a scary red X next to his name. Then I hope that Joseph could not desync and get himself back in here. We'll soon find out that. We've got 5th position is Camera Racer, Alibi in 6th position. 7th position is Mackenzie with Vintage in 8th, Swanshanks in 9th, Bass in 10th position, Irvine in 11th, Ayrton in 12th position. 13th position is Enright, 14th is Echo, 15th is Theo. 5-second penalty for Ayrton, 11-second penalty for Enright at the moment now. And goodness me, then this has been pretty. This has been a pretty disappointing race, this one, as I was like, to be fair. But someone is asking how many. Harry's asking how many stops are we going to have in double digits then. Well, how many? I can't remember. I think the most pit stops we've ever had for an ALR Grand Prix to win. I'm sure it's 3, isn't it? 3 or 4. It's not that many, to be honest. I'm sure it's quite. I'm sure it's Singapore when we had a wet, dry, wet race. I think, and I think it was a race where our RDB came into the pits there, and I think he came in the pits there, what I thought was so early, and he somehow, like, judged conditions to absolute perfection. Swanshank's back in the pits at the moment there. Enright coming in the pits as well. Swanshank's then is done 4 laps on the medium tyres, and we're on lap 16. We haven't even had DRS yet, and we're already over half distance here in this race. Soft tyres now on for Swanshank's, and he comes out of the pits, and Enright also in the pits as well. Sermon, another 5-second penalty here. Enright is now accelerating out then. Let's see what he can do then. No, accelerating out of the pits then. Yeah, I think it's been a pretty tough race. I must say this one has there. For the drivers there, I'm not sure what's going on a Tuesday night there. I thought it'd be a Monday night where all chaos is going to is where the chaos really starts then. But my goodness gracious me, that it's been a pretty tough one to commentate on this one as well. Unfortunately, I do love motor racing and all that kind of stuff, but this is not good at all, is it? Serious Motion kind of summed up completely, really. It's bad advert considering that it's mainly straights. Safety car is still out at the moment, and so we haven't, as I said, we haven't got DRS yet, have we? So lap 16 out of 27, and on fingers crossed then that we do have, I love this word, man, decorum. I absolutely love decorum, it's brilliant. But Ayrton's got a 5-second penalty. It's all going a bit wrong there for Ayrton, isn't it? Goodness me, as he's got 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane and now for speeding under the safety, under the yellow flag at the moment now. So I'm not sure what's going on there with Ayrton there, but I'm surprised by that because I'm not sure how that would have happened there. Roscoe then is currently in third position there as Joseph dropped down to fourth, and unfortunately I don't think Joseph's in this session right now. Roscoe's in the box seat there, along with Shattershead. Are we going to get a first time Grand Prix winner then? But Billet is now leading us away then. Billet is taking a very slow indeed. It's almost at a dead stop here, Billet is. Thank goodness gracious me that Jensen Button did this, I think in 2010, was it? Or 9, I think it was 10, was it? I think it's in the Chinese Grand Prix of back racing then. Shatters is off the circuit then. Shatters is off the circuit and he's in the pit wall then, and Shatters is coming to the pit lane. Oh no, then. Oh my goodness me, what is going on there? And oh gosh, and this is absolutely appalling. This really is indeed. Then Billet leads the Grand Prix, by the way, and this is absolute horrific stuff. Shatters comes into the pits there, and we're down. We've not got many laps to go then. Roscoe is in second position there, but he's lost the whole of the front wing then. Balaboy in second position there. We got Joseph who's in third position. I'm not even sure what's going on with this, mind, because you shouldn't be breaking in a straight line on a straight anyway. But this is pretty appalling stuff indeed, then, isn't it? I must say, I think I've seen better racing from Johnny Chicotto in GP2, and that is saying something, unfortunately. We're just watching Alaboy, who's limping back to the pits, but I think that this has been a pretty disappointing race indeed. Whilst Billet leads now by 4 seconds there from his teammate Camera Racer in second position, and just watching Billet then accelerates on then as well. Then we've got Camera Racer in second position, Baz in third position, Ayrton is now in fourth position, and Ayrton and goodness me, when we've got cars all over the show, then we've got Echo who is coming back for the field, and Theo is also coming back for the field as well. Theo is of course leading the World Championship, which is very difficult to remember at the moment, and he's now at the inside then, passes Echo, and now Enright is going up the inside as well. Echo is looks like he is kind of in a difficult part of the racetrack here, comes across the line. Echo down in seventh position, but now Theo is under the pressure as well, and here he comes in, and look at this, and we've got three abreast, and Enright then almost cutting across Echo as we go down into turn one then, and now is Theo is still got it, and of course there's the battle for the championship lead that's quite important at this stage of proceedings, and accelerates it away, and now here we go then, and look at this, that is Theo still in fifth position there, Enright in sixth, Echo in seventh position, Taylor in eighth position, Swanshank's in ninth. Joseph is not in the race at the moment there, is he, and Camera Racer has now been overtaken by Ayrton. Ayrton's got a couple of penalties to his name then, but still I think that Ayrton's going to get a podium here tonight then, and here he is then, Ayrton in third position, Camera Racer down in the fourth, but he is limping at the moment, and Camera Racer and Enright in sixth position, Echo in seventh, and Taylor McKenzie is eighth, Swanshank's in ninth position, Shatters is in 10th, and he's 16 seconds back then. Alaboy in 11th position, and 12th is Irvine, Roscoe in 13th, Vintage coming out in 15th position as well. I have no idea what went on the pitch finish straight down, and I don't really, I'm not really too sure about what's going on either. And just now on board with Billet, who's now got 2.5 second lead then from Baz in second position. Can Baz get his first Grand Prix win of his career? Ayrton is not giving up, is he? Of course, Ayrton does have 10-second penalties at this moment in time, and DRS has finally been enabled, I think, on the Italian Grand Prix on lap 19 then, as we got fast laps there galore then. Felipe has left possession there. Unfortunately, Felipe on his first ALR race has been a pretty disappointing one, to say the least. Theo in 4th position, Enright in 5th at the moment there. Echo is just dropping back in 6th position as he accelerates away. And now then, can Enright then get past Theo? We got Camera Racer dropping down the order. Camera Racer in the pits then after doing a couple laps. Of course, we're not going to judge anything till the end of this race then, but there is there's been a lot of appalling driving out there tonight, and that is quite a loose statement indeed, isn't there? Billet leading the race, so fantastic stuff there from Billet there, keeping himself out of trouble with Ayrton, and who's been in trouble. That's your trouble has found Ayrton, but he's in 3rd position. Found Ayrton is there, and anything can happen in this race still, and it usually does. This is going to get very interesting indeed then, and now as we're on board then with Baz as well. And Billet there, who's leading the race, but he's done 15 laps on those medium tyres, and he really pulled away, didn't he, under that safety car restart. And here comes Ayrton, and he is driving, I think, with a cloud over his head there, as I think that Ayrton there is driving a bit angry with what has gone on in this race. Enright then, Enright and Theo might be feeling the same thing then, as Theo is out of the final turn then. Enright is now all over the back now. We're on board, and Ayrton's at the fast side race, and he's flying out at the moment. Theo is trying to break the slipstream there. Shadows out of the Grand Prix. Shadows was in a point scoring position. He's not anymore then. And now we've got Enright having a 4th position. Theo dropping down into 5th position. We've got a safety car, and another safety car then. Oh dear. So we've got another safety car. Oh my goodness me. Baz has got a 5-second penalty then for a severe collision with Billet then, as I think Billet was slowed down then to make sure he deals to Delta then, but I think that sometimes drivers do slow down quite abruptly, don't they? Into the pits there comes Joseph. Joseph unfortunately left the session. He is coming back out of the garage now, and let's see, now he accelerates away now then, Joseph first, and here he goes then. So Joseph back out onto the track then, Irvine in to the pits, and Roscoe also is just saying as well. Echo dropping down past Mackenzie there. Oh my gosh, there Mackenzie there just slowing down quite abruptly there. I'm not sure why they was overtaking us because, well, of course, safety car means do not overtake us. They're neutralising the race then, isn't it? This is well, there's a drive-through penalty then for Joseph and speeding on the safety car. Remember, safety car is about neutralising the race, really, isn't it? Of course, unfortunately, no, I don't think that the drivers there's not been much neutralising going on here. As well as everyone in the pits, but everyone coming out of the pits in 14th position. Only 14 cars remain in this race, then. Only 14 cars remain in this race, and on lap 20 out of 27, Billet still leads the race. He hasn't come in the pits, so Billet hasn't, has he? He's got no penalties either. Billet is in the box seats, albeit he is on the wrong tyres, though, isn't he? Billet is then Swan Shanks, who is now in 7th position now, is into the pits there. Mackenzie, and he's done 8 laps on them on those medium tyres, and he's in the pits now. Then, and let's see them doing car 45 coming in the pits on those soft tyres. Well, look at how rubber that Mercedes is there. All the drivers have been through quite an adventure so far, haven't they? 21 out of 27. I don't think we've had any racing around here at all, have we? We've had incidents galore, and not much really, not much else, to be honest. I say not much else. There's been a lot to talk about in this race, hasn't it? Really has indeed. That unfortunately, there's going to be a lot. There might be some repercussions that come out of this race. I would have to guess it. We're just watching Billet at the moment, so he is at the moment leading this race then on 17 lap old medium tires. And Baz in 2nd position. 3rd position is Ayrton. Let's take a look at the penalty. I've just seen that one of those 5-second penalties for Ayrton might get removed there, but it does depend on Liam's judgment, of course, and Liam is the head honcho in the old steward's room, so that might need to will need to be reviewed then. But I'm wondering then if it did feel like that when those 5 seconds after speeding under a safety car, it didn't feel too right to me, but that might be the wrong one, because I thought that he was close behind, and it would have been very difficult to speed on the safety car, because I don't think there would have been a doubt about it. I'm not too sure, to be honest, because I don't really race often. The only time I do race, usually I'm at the back of the field. Right, hopefully we can get back and going in just a few moments' time then. Billet then leads this race then. Hopefully the safety car will be in the end this lap, then we can get back racing. We've got 5 laps to go then, so fingers crossed then we can have 5 laps then of some good clean well, safety car is in then, and Billet, who's overtaken. Billet's been disqualified. Billet's been disqualified then from the Italian Grand Prix. Ayrton leads the race then, and now we're back racing, and that's a very late call. And Billet has been disqualified from the Italian Grand Prix. What is going on here tonight then? And Billet is going to be absolutely devastated with that. I'm not sure if Billet, I think that Billet might have went then. I'm not sure if he was in control or whatnot. But either way, Billet is out of the Grand Prix. Ayrton leads into the pits. There is Cambaz and Joseph. Ayrton leads with Enright in second position, and this is incredible stuff indeed then. And then now then going down into the Dalia Roger chicane, and Ayrton is now then very close. And of course, Enright is very close to the back of Ayrton, and Theo in third position as a top three in the. I remember a couple of laps ago, I was saying about how the top three was 12th, 13th, and 15th. Now all of a sudden, they're first, second, and third here tonight then. Echo is also back in the running as well. There's a car off the circuit, and it's Mackenzie who's got off in the second Lesbo. And Mackenzie's there. Oh, he's gone into the barrier backwards as well. That might damage the rear crash structure there. Unfortunately, Ayrton is still leading this race, and Ayrton does like the Italian Grand Prix, does he? Does well around here. And now flying past the Scar chicane, Ayrton leading them with Enright in second position. Enright does have a 6-second penalty. Ayrton has a 10-second penalty. Theo has no penalty at all. Can he win the Italian Grand Prix for the Ferrari? That would be absolutely incredible stuff indeed, then, wouldn't it? And that might be a bit of a happy ending then, which has been a very tense race then. Enright then, of course, his car has been battered and bruised in this race, has he? But he's still in second position. Enright is there. Theo is having a look down on the outside. No dice then going into a turn one. So we're on lap 23 out of 27. Then we've got a couple more laps to go in this race. As it has been quite difficult. Oh, Billet, and I think that Billet's saying he is so silly there. Yes, Billet's quoted the famous line of Charles Leclerc, as in, what a shame there for Billet. As I think that by the sounds of it, then Billet is, it might be a mistake there from Billet rather than anything else. That is such a shame there for Billet, because he was in the box seat, wasn't he, here tonight, then Billet, of getting a famous Grand Prix win here in the Italian Grand Prix. Oh, that is such a shame there for Billet is there. And oh my word there. And Billet was, I think Billet was doing a great job indeed then. Of course, the safety car restart was a bit on the go, so wasn't it? But goodness gracious me. But of course, Jensen Button did the Chinese Grand Prix back in 2010, didn't he? On board with Mackenzie, who was really putting Roscoe under some pressure there. Ayrton is now starting to drop into the clutches of Enright as well. No DRS just yet, of course. I think we've already had like 2 laps of DRS in this race. And now going into the Ascari chicane as well. As Billet saying, I shouldn't have come to the pits. I thought I'd start the race again, and just the safety car is too slow then. I know that is such a shame then, indeed then. And Enright's now set the fastest lap of the race, and we're on board now with Ayrton. He's doing a lot of harvesting and going down into turn one, then in the chicane as well. Ayrton get a bit squirrely on the old rear, then Enright's all over the back foot there, and Enright is look at this, and he's going to go for a Curva Grande, then is he going to have a run then going down to the Della Roger chicane? He's having a run then. Can he get side by side of Ayrton then? Camera racers into the pits, and look at this as we're side by side. Enright takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and now Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty there for the corner cut there. So there's going to be a lot of penalties there. What can Theo do then? Theo needs to stay within 6 seconds of Enright. He needs to stay within 13 seconds of Ayrton as well for Theo to win the Italian Grand Prix here tonight. We got Joseph then, who's under the caution as well. Alibi's had a fast lap race, and that'll be a bonus point then for Alibi at the moment then. So that's good stuff indeed there for Alibi. I think he was showing a lot of fun. I think he had a lot of frustrations, didn't he, Alibi? But good stuff indeed there for sticking with this one. Ayrton, who is now going to be really strong there. And look at this, and Ayrton there, who's oh goodness me, Ayrton is dropped down into third position there. Is Ayrton got some kind of problem there? Oh goodness me, or is he trying to get the DRS there? I think he's trying to get the DRS there, Ayrton. This so a shrewd manoeuvre there from Ayrton, showing his experience in bronze. He's the most experienced driver in bronze today, and he's using all that experience there, really coming to the forefront of his racecraft here tonight. And of course, I think that he just wants to stay with Theo, doesn't he? He wants to stay with Theo, and because potentially he might be able to get a podium still, but we'll find out. We'll find out there. And just now on board just now on board. And Theo then is now in second position. Of course, Theo just needs to stay within 6 seconds then of the car in front, which is Enright. Then Enright is going to be pushing as hard as he can. Then Joseph is just dropped down into 9th position there. Baz in 8th position then. Good stuff indeed there for Baz. And Taylor McKenzie's all over the back of Roscoe. So Roscoe there is on course there for a second point. And but he's off the circuit, but so is McKenzie as well. McKenzie's going for it into this first Lesbo up the inside, passes the Ferrari driver, and away he goes then. Good stuff indeed there for McKenzie there. Wait until Roscoe made a mistake. He did make a mistake eventually there, and the way he goes then. Ayrton there on board of him once again, and he is trying to keep up with Theo. Ayrton is there. He wants that podium, doesn't he? The Mono Echo has currently got that podium. Roscoe's back through. Roscoe's got back through. Going down to the Ascar chicane. Good manoeuvre there from Roscoe. Getting back past the Mercedes driver. Both of these drivers have 3-second penalty. But they shouldn't lose their positions though, because Baz is about 12 seconds back at the moment now. As we go down into the parabolic again, about 26 out of 27. Then Theo is going for his second Grand Prix in the season. This is going to be an important one though for Theo, though, isn't it? Of course, winning on the home soil in the Ferrari, and the Tifosi is going to be overjoyed with this result. They really are indeed. That absolutely mega stuff, and absolutely mega stuff indeed. That for Theo. I forgot who I was talking about then. And Baz has just dropped down back into 9th position. So Joseph up to 8th position. Baz on 9th position at the moment. And McKenzie, who is currently in 7th position at the moment, trying to keep up with Roscoe. I thought he almost went to the back there. Ayrton is off the circuit, and Ayrton is out of the Italian Grand Prix. Oh no, Ayrton is thrown away potential podium here, and he is out of the Italian Grand Prix. And my goodness me! And look then, that McLaren right in the front of Roscoe and McKenzie, and Ayrton is going to get no points. His efforts have all come to nothing now. Oh my goodness me! And Roscoe is up into 5th position, and Theo is still within the 6-second bracket, and that is what Theo needs. That Theo is he's within that 6-second bracket, and indeed he is. That as he comes across the line, we're on the final lap then of the Italian Grand Prix. And Wright is leading then with Theo in second position, Echo in third, Swanshanks in a very strong 4th position, Roscoe in 5th, but McKenzie and Roscoe on an almighty battle here. Baz dropping down into 7th position with Baz moved up to 7th position with Joseph 8th, Vintage in 9th position, open to Baz has run wide then, so Vintage is going to go Joseph's going to go back up and under here, and this is going to be a great little battle to the end then, isn't it? We've got 2 Red Bulls, 9 from 10th as well. Camera Racer is well outside the points at 11th place there, and Alibi may get past the Camaro. We got two really good battles going on there in the final stages of this Italian Grand Prix. McKenzie's all over the back of Roscoe, then good speed, they're almost touching go through Curva Grande, and he's out the inside into the Daniel Rogers chicane. Roscoe still has the high line now, and he still keeps a 5th position there, as it was getting a bit juicy there, wasn't it, there, going into the Camaro, going into the Daniel Rogers chicane, and Camaro just at the fast up of the race there. Enright is on course then to finish second today then, so after what has been a pretty difficult race there for Enright, unfortunately, some people have been using him as a break here every now and again then, but goodness me then, found absolutely incredible stuff. Right then, but Roscoe and McKenzie are still fighting away, aren't they? But it's going to be Theo who wins the Italian Grand Prix, and McKenzie's out of the race, and Theo wins the Italian Grand Prix, his second Grand Prix win of his career. His third Grand Prix of his career, and his second Grand Prix in the season, and he wins the Italian Grand Prix. This might be his favourite one. Echo in third position, Swanshanks in fourth, and McKenzie out of the race, which Camera Racer and Alabot is going to be fighting for the final point here then, as it was a pretty messy and a very disappointing Grand Prix, I think, for lots of drivers out there. Enright saying then, good battle in there, GG there for Enright as well, so good stuff indeed. Theo, what a win there indeed then it was there from Theo. Absolutely tremendous stuff from Theo. We're just on board now, the Ferrari driver who is going to be overjoyed with this result, isn't he? As I said, that's his third Grand Prix win, and yes, Sam saying Theo, the Italian Grand Prix winner. Fantastic stuff indeed there. I think that Ayrton might be feeling a bit sore after that incident in the second Lesmo, unfortunately there, as he was pushing quite hard. Swanshanks getting a driver of the day then. It was a very strong day there for both AlphaTauris then, but unfortunately, but I think they might have been expecting more from that very good grip position there. But Theo looks to be very happy with that performance. So, yes, that's exactly what the Tifosi wanted to see. Then Ferrari on top of the podium. Then magnificent stuff indeed. Then, and let's take a final look at the classification then from a very interesting Italian Grand Prix. Theo won the race today. Congratulations to Theo. The Ferrari and the Tifosi is going to be overjoyed. Then Enright with a four-stop strategy finishing second today. He had a 6-second penalty and a good drive in the end. Echo, not sure what happened to Echo under the safety car. I would like to hear what happened from Echo now, because that potentially may have cost him the Grand Prix win today. Swanshanks drive the day from 19th to 4th. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Swanshanks. For Roscoe, potentially could have got a podium here, but I'm not sure what happened to Roscoe either. And there's so much action there, wasn't there? Baz in 6th position there. 7th is Joseph. Vintage is 8th. Irvine in 9th. Camera Racer in 10th position there. Alibi outside the points. And unfortunately, he lost that fast lap as well. Retirements: Mackenzie, Ayrton, Bullets, Shatters, Z-Mini, Rossi, Felipe, Sammy, and Lewis G. Unfortunately, all retired then for the Italian Grand Prix. And I think I've been joined in the where are we? I think we're in the commentary box, aren't we? We've been joined in the commentary box there by Jamie Enright and Echo. And let's start with Enright first, shall we? Enright, goodness me, that looked like a very tough race for you today. My goodness gracious me, that hopefully we can make it as positive as we can do. But what was your highlights of today?
Surprisingly, I actually had a good battle with Echo, Ayrton, and Theo. But what's it called? Well, I had my teammate take me out, and then I had another reserve try kill me. So it's not the best race, but like I think I'll get the 6 seconds removed hopefully, so I still could win the race. But it was good that I was able to have a little battle with Theo and Ayrton.
Yeah, indeed, and I think let's try and put a positive spin on it as much as we can. And it was a great battle between you, Theo, and Ayrton in the end. Then really enjoyed that indeed. Then and it was great to see the top three in the championship as well, battling it out. Then goodness me, how difficult is it there to keep Theo back then? Because it looks like you got rid of the DRS quite quickly at the end there.
Yeah, it's like me and Theo are just such similar pace, and it's like if I make a mistake, he's next basically ahead. If he makes a mistake, I'm ahead, and I think he just got a bit of oversteer. I got him out of DRS, and I just kept pushing from there.
And let's go back to that very wet qualifying session there. And unfortunately, it looks like you overstepped the mark there in qualifying. What happened in qualifying?
I just hit the curb and went into the wall. I think it felt like I had too much grip, so I was kind of pushing like mad, and then I just went too fast into the wall.
How difficult is it in those conditions where it's absolutely bucketed down with rain then? Because did you have a dry setup on, or doesn't it make a difference on this game whether it's wet or dry setup?
Yeah, I had a dry setup on, so I was struggling in the wet.
How difficult is it there to manhandle the car, if that's the best phrase, out around this Italian Grand Prix circuit? Because you've basically got a tea tray on the back of the car.
It's in the rain anyway. It was awful. I didn't even get to do a lap. In the race, the setup was actually decent because I changed the wings back to what I actually had left.
And in the end in the race as well. Then of course there was a lot of incidents and accidents. But in the battles you did did take part in. It sounded like you did really enjoy it. Then do you enjoy this track here in Italy?
It's a good track, but it's just annoying the amount of safety cars because I think we only got 5 laps of actual racing.
Yeah, it was a lot of safety cars tonight, was there? Well done indeed, right there. Great performance there from 15th to second in the end then, and probably what would have been a very damaged car towards the end of that race. Good stuff indeed. And let's come to, I think it was Echo that finished third today. Echo, let's talk about your pole position first. Goodness gracious me, that was a fantastic pole by you. Absolutely tamed the Italian wet wearer out there.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had no idea how I did that. I cut it very, very fine with track limits. With, I think it was the second chicane, the entry into the second chicane. I think I must have nailed it because I found like about 3-4 tenths just going through that one corner. And then from there on out, it was just trying to keep control of the car. And yeah, I think it's only my second pole position in ALR history. So, I'll take it.
Oh, goodness me, you will take it as well then. Very similar conditions, well, almost similar conditions, because I think you took pole position in a wet, dry Brazilian Grand Prix, didn't you?
Yeah, you're going back a while now, back on F1 2019, I think. I think it was. Uh, I think it was a dry qualifying, but it started to rain in Q3, and I just got out ahead of someone else. I can't remember who it was, but I managed just to sneak pole. It was a long time ago, so I can't even remember. But
You have better
I
memory than
think we
me.
need more wet races. Let's put it that way. I've got a bit of a chance of winning.
And goodness me, it was fantastic qualifying. Onto the race as well. You looked quite comfortable then in the start. Then was as much as start as it can be then, because I thought the Shadows was going to get the jump on you at the beginning there. Was you concerned about Shadows on the soft tires?
Yeah, especially like with at the start of the race, such a long run down to turn one. I decided to try and go for the inside line to then try and go to the inside line again for turn two. And then the safety car came out, so I was like, I'll take it. It gives me a bit of a breathing space. I managed to get a good restart as well, and then it was just from there on out, just trying not to bottle it at the end or towards the end of the first stint.
And I'm going to. What happened to you under the safety car? Because at one point there, I think that you was in the in the mid reach of the points there with very young tires on. What happened to you? We seen you off at turn one.
Right, so yeah, that was on the safety car, wasn't it? I kind of clipped the curb a little bit too much and it sent me spinning. And I was like, oh, cool, that's my race over. I just wasn't concentrating too much. Bit of fatigue set in. Clipped the curb a little bit too much at turn one, sent me spinning, back of the grid. So
Do you think
it is
without
what
that
it is.
mistake you would have won today?
No, definitely not. I he, I'd love to sit here and say, yeah, without that mistake, I probably would have won. But no, Enright was too quick, Theo was too quick, even Ayrton was too quick before he retired. Um, I knew pretty much it was about trying to hold on to like P3, P2, but nah, there was no chance I was going to win.
But it's still a very good third stage. Well done indeed, Echo. And that is going to be
Thank
it
you.
then from the Italian Grand Prix tonight. And well, it was quite a hard hit in Italian Grand Prix to say the very least. Was there? We're back in action then for ALR for COBALT tomorrow night. Then hammered, of course, Hammer Time then who had a bit of an issue, didn't he, in the Dutch Grand Prix? His first DNF of his season. Can he bounce back? Then we'll see.